Trojans 6-5 a year ago. Carnahan was 9-3 a year ago. They're a Class II football program. They're a part of the St. Louis public school system. And this matchup is always interesting when you get kind of the Boot Heel area teams or the Southeast Missouri teams playing the St. Louis teams. You always want to see kind of who's going to come out on top. And it's kind of speed versus power a lot of the time, or, the coaching styles are usually a lot different. And it's two very different teams that get together and usually makes for a pretty fun football game. First couple of quarters, each team's filling each other out. And then you kind of start getting into a rhythm after that.
Yeah, and it's fun, as a guy who played a bunch of smaller schools around his area and not really getting into the inner city much. It's fun, to see whose style or who can pull out a victory late. And we should see two different contrasts of teams tonight.
Potosi Trojans are wearing their purple uniforms. They have the gold pants, gold helmets, gold numbers, and white letters. The seniors have their names on the back of the uniforms. They've earned it for being upperclassmen in this program. For Carnahan, they've got the white tops on, black bottoms, black numbers. Carnahan Cougars versus Potosi Trojans tonight on J98 The Boot and J98 Web TV. It's going to be Carnahan who will be receiving. Potosi won the coin toss and deferred. So we'll see the Carnahan Cougars on offense first. And Potosi will kick off from left to right. And this opening kickoff is brought to you by American Family Insurance Agent Bill Bess in Park Hills, committed to making the big play for their customers. So lining up back there for the Potosi Trojans, we have Austin Cooley kind of leading the huddle for Potosi, and he's expected to have a big season this year. He's been excellent this sophomore year and in his junior year. I want to see if he can explode into an even bigger year this year. He's going to have some competition for that best wide receiver in the white division of the MAFC this year with the night that Braden Mannion had yesterday.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough task for him, but just looking at him right now, he looks like the typical football player, and we'll see what he's got tonight.
Austin Cooley can literally do it all. He's going to be the kicker who boots this one deep, and he's actually going to squib it, and it's going to be picked up by one of the return men back at the 19-yard line, and he's going to be roped up, shakes the tackle, and then gets driven backwards to the 16-yard line. On the return was Larry Rines. He's a senior, and he can play corner and free safety on defense, and he's a split back on the offensive side of the ball, but Larry Rines wasn't able to do much with that, and that squib kick actually worked to Potosi's favor that time.
Yeah, it did. The up guys didn't want anything to do with it, let the ball get back to the back line, and Trojans got down the field and made a good open field tackle.
That opening kickoff brought to you by American Family Insurance Agent Bill Bess in Park Hills, committed to making the big play for their customers. This will be a shortened version of high school football tonight since there's only the one game going on. More on that coming up later. But first, Carnahan's going to line up with a three-back set and one receiver out to the right and one to the left. Man goes in motion, and there's a play-action pass, and they're going deep right off the bat. But the pass is underthrown and almost intercepted as Austin Cooley goes back in coverage, and he makes a play on defense right off the bat.
Yeah, the quarterback kind of left the ball up in the air there, and Austin Cooley made a good judgment to wait and stand under it. And actually, the Carnahan Cougar wide receiver actually had to play defense on that one.
Michael Cooper is the starting quarterback for Carnahan, and the man who went in motion was number 33, Gary Johnson, the wingback. So Michael Cooper, he is your starting quarterback. He is only a freshman, 5'9", 175-pounder. These starting lineups brought to you by Culligan Water. In Leadington, Culligan Water, better water, pure and simple. Here's a fumbled snap, and the freshman quarterback having trouble right off the bat. In fact, Potosi's going to fall on it and take over. So two bad plays offensively for Carnahan, and Potosi gets possession at the 16-yard line. And for a pretty good offense where we expect it to be, to get set up there at the 16, look out.
Yeah, that's a good field position for the Potosi Trojans. It looked like just a muffed snap from the pistol, and it looks like number 74, Caleb Lawson, came up with the loose ball.
So now it's going to be Potosi on offense. Didn't even get to give you their starting defense, but again, these brought to you by Culligan Water in Leadington. Jordan Huerta is the quarterback. Dusty Douglas, the fullback. Blaine Riddle is the tailback. And like I expected, Potosi starts off in a split back set. From underneath the center, there's the snap of the handoff. Riddle's got room to run, running to the right side to the 10, cuts back inside, and a good pursuit angle to run him toward the sideline and eventually out of bounds. Still a 6-yard carry, and more the offensive line making that happen than Blaine Riddle. I thought Blaine could have done actually a little bit more than that. I don't think the cutback was such a great idea.
Yeah, I think if he would have stayed to the outside, he might have scored maybe a couple more yards. But like you said, good pull by the offensive guards, getting outside and getting some blocking downfield.
Blaine Riddle, a 1,500-yard rusher last year. 2nd down and 4 from the 10-yard line of Carnahan. This all set up by a Carnahan fumble. It was a fumbled snap. One receiver out right, one receiver to the left, split backs in the backfield. There's the snap, and they'll hand it off to Cooley this time, and it's Riddle blocking for him. Here's a cut back to the near side, and inside the 5-yard line is Cooley all the way down to the 4. It's a gain of 6 and a first down. So you have two talented players in your backfield, Riddle and Cooley, and although Cooley is listed as a wide receiver, he's going to get a lot of carries this year.
Yeah, and it looks like he should. I mean, the way he's built, he's going to be a tough load for the Carnahan Cougars to take down. And in that instance right there with the cut-up field, that was a great move on him to get an extra few yards.
Cooley and Thompson listed as starting receivers. Chandler Franklin is the starting tight end. The offensive line coming up in just a second. First down and goal from the 3-yard line with one receiver right, one receiver to the left. There's the snap, handoff to Riddle. Riddle with a move to get to the pylon, or close to the pylon anyway. I believe he's going to be stopped just short of a touchdown here. It's a 2-yard carry down to the 1-yard line for Riddle. He missed it by the nose of the football.
Yeah, he did. Looked like forward progress had him close to the goal line there. But right now, running attack's working great for the Trojans.
Across that offensive line, Zach Drennan, who's the best offensive lineman at tackle. Caleb Courtois is a guard. Jacob Neff, the center. Colby Boyer at guard. And Matt Berman at the other tackle. 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Potosi looking to strike first here. Riddle and Cooley are the split backs in the backfield. Thompson out right as a wide receiver. Another receiver out left from under center. There's the snap. There's the handoff to Riddle. Riddle tries the right side. Upended that pursuit by the Carnahan defense. Backed him up a couple of yards. A loss of 2 for Blaine Riddle. And tell you what, Carnahan's looking for a goal line stand.
Yeah, they are. The defensive line made a good push there and stuffed him close to the line of scrimmage. I don't think he got a yard on that play.
So it's 3rd down and goal from the 3-yard line for Carnahan. 10 minutes for Potosi anyway. 10 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Potosi's opening drive started at the 16 thanks to a fumbled snap by the Carnahan quarterback. Split back set. Thompson is the receiver out to the right. From under center, Huerta takes the snap. Oh, then he fumbled the snap, and now there's a fight for it back at the 5-yard line. It's going to go to Carnahan, and that time not so much the snap was fumbled, but the exchange from quarterback to running back was fumbled, and both quarterbacks having trouble holding on to the football in the early going in this one.
Yeah, it looked like Jordan Huerta tried to do too much before he had the football, but looked like number 48, Isaiah Bishop, came up with the loose ball.
Now we can get you Potosi's starting defense. They blow a golden opportunity set up at the 16-yard line and can't get it in, and they turn the ball over. Potosi's starting defense brought to you by Culligan Water and Leadington, Waylon DeClue, Caleb Lawson, Caleb Courtois, and Dylan Wright across that defensive line. Zach Drennan, Dusty Douglas, Jordan Huerta, and Jake Coleman are the linebackers. Secondary coming up. But Rhines, the quarterback, is going to run to the right side and then cut back near side. Bowls over Austin Cooley. Cooley tried to make a shoulder pad tackle. That didn't work out, and the run goes out to the 25 for a gain of 20 yards.
Yeah, good game for Carnahan there. Looked like a read option play. Quarterback kept it, cut up field, and got at least 25 yards on that carry.
I said Rhines. It was the quarterback, Cooper, who ran that one for 20 yards. And Cooper's 0 for 1 passing. He's fumbled, but he looked good running the football there. And I think Coach Scott for Carnahan is probably going to kind of see what Potosi's doing on defense and maybe not try to pass so much. You have a guy like Cooper who can make some plays with his legs. We might see a lot more of that tonight.
Yeah, it looks like, with an athletic team, keeping it on the ground might be the way to go.
Man in motion from left to right. That puts 3 backs in the backfield, and here's a slant route that's tipped and then goes right into the hands of the receiver, and he's gone in the open field, and he's looking for 6. Nobody close to touching him. All the way to the end zone for a touchdown. It's a 75-yard pass from Cooper to Larry Rhines, and it doesn't get much luckier than that.
No, it was a lucky play. The defender for Potosi got a hand on it, just doing what he's supposed to do, but he didn't actually bat it down, batted it right into the hand of the wide receiver for Carnahan for 6.
Larry Rhines, who got that opening kickoff sent his way. That wasn't even the intended target. They were looking for a little deep flag route over the middle, it looked like, or a seam route. And the ball was tipped by the Potosi defensive back, who made a good play on it, other than the fact that he didn't reject it to the turf. Straight up in the air, Rhines runs underneath it and takes it 75 yards for a touchdown. And boy, he was fast. It's now 6-0. Carnahan. And Carnahan, not much of a kicking game. They're going to go for 2. Cooper sets up from the pistol set, puts a man in motion and hands it off to that motion man. Starts right, cuts up the middle, and gets stopped short of the end zone. So Potosi gets a win there, keeping it 6-0. Carnahan strikes first on a 75-yard touchdown pass from Cooper to Rhines. 9:12 left to play in this first quarter. from the home of the Trojans in Potosi. We're back in a minute on Kicking Country. J98 The Boot.
At Home Pools and Spas, it's never too early, too late to start thinking about installing a new pool, closing your pool, or opening your pool. Hi, I'm Jason DeClue at Home Pools and Spas. We install all year round, weather permitting. We work hard to create your at-home family vacation spots and maintain them so your family can continue to create memories to last a lifetime. We service all year round and scheduling can be done months ahead for your closings and openings. Home Pools and Spas offers customized service plans for your convenience and savings. Even if your pool didn't come from Home Pools and Spas, we can still service it for you and would love the opportunity to show you outstanding service. You'll always find the best deal and savings with Home Pools and Spas too. There's never need to shop around, but if you do, always bring them back to Home Pools and Spas. We'll either match or beat the price on the same pool, spa, or product. Home Pools and Spas on the Outer Service Road in Leadington or online at homepoolsandspas.net.
Well, the fumble by Huerta on the quarterback-running back exchange turned into a 95-yard drive for Carnahan, capped off by the 75-yard touchdown pass from Cooper to Rhines. So it's 6-0. Carnahan Cougars on top of the Potosi Trojans. Austin Cooley is back to return, and the kicker is going to be Eric Williams for Carnahan as Carnahan kicks right to left if you're looking on J98 Web TV at MyMoInfo.com. Let's see if the kicker doesn't try to keep this one away from Austin Cooley. I think if you've done any kind of scouting on Potosi at all, you don't want to put the ball in his hands in any situation.
Yeah, and you'll see that in high school where, coaches will teach the kicker to kick it to at least the left or right half to keep it out of the deep back's hands. And you don't want to break a big run here early on in the going.
Ball placed 5 yards back at the 35-yard line now. And now Eric Williams is going to have to kick from the 35. We saw something similar yesterday from the Park Hills Central Rebels before even anything can kind of get off the ground. The officials come in and call offsides against Carnahan. That was, in fact, the exact same thing that we saw yesterday.
Yeah, it looked like Carnahan had an extra guy on the field, and as he was running off, he went too far, it looked like, and the referee called an offside.
First penalty of the night goes against Carnahan. Williams is going to drive this one pretty deep. Pretty good kick. It's a end-over-end wobbler that's picked up back at the 5-yard line. And here's the return back up the middle for Potosi. A spin move at the 25-yard line before he's brought down. It was a return of about 15 yards for the Trojan returner, far side of the field, and that's where Potosi takes over. Trying to see who had the return on that play for Potosi. I'm not sure.
Jared Portal had
Jared Portel, okay. So Portel on the return, and now another flag on the field. This comes in late. Start of this game had the Trojans looking pretty good. They had themselves a nice defensive stop, got a turnover, and started at the 16, but then they traded the turnover right back, then gave up a unfortunate play down the field for a 75-yard touchdown pass. Looks like they may have picked up the flag, or they're at least discussing what the flag's going to be, but we're going to get a timeout for a water break. We'll make some sponsors during this timeout, and they are Procare Automotive and Bonne Terre, Earth Mother Health Foods in Farmington, Hood's Discount Home Center in Farmington, Buckley Towing in Park Hills, and Midwest Orthopedic Group in Farmington. Potosi versus Carnahan in the season opener for the Potosi Trojans and the Carnahan Cougars for that matter. But the big reason for the game getting pushed to tonight was Carnahan's head coach, Lee Scott, has a son who graduated from West Point Military Academy last night. He wanted to be at that. Potosi obliged and thought that was a good move. And then it allowed them to have this big celebration on a Saturday as well.
Yeah, I think that was, a good move for both parties. That's pretty special. Your son graduating from West Point. And, it's very respectful for Potosi allowing them to play on Saturday. And it gave, like you said, a great opportunity to show off this beautiful field and give back to the past Trojans that have played here.
Mentioned earlier, Potosi is returning most of their team from last year, and they've lost a few key pieces. Dallas Syme not going to come back, offensive and defensive line. But I would say most notably, though, Aaron Vinson, who is an all-district quarterback. And he was a guy the last 2 years that I had really enjoyed watching play. He had a strong arm, pretty accurate. Jordan Huerta is a different type of quarterback. to hear Coach Casey talk. He's going to be more the game manager, maybe a little bit better with his legs type of guy. And it might hurt some of the production from his receivers, but overall this offense may not miss a whole lot. It's just going to give you a different way of attacking defenses.
Yeah, and like you said, with Austin Cooley being a versatile player, that's going to help Huerta out a ton of, opening up that ground game and allowing him to maybe see some more passing yards.
Potosi starts at their own 25-yard line. Huerta comes under center with split backs in the backfield on a two-receiver set. A handoff goes to Cooley to the left side. Cooley shoots out of the backfield and gets first down yardage. Tackled out at the 35-yard line, far sideline. That was pretty nice.
Yes, it was. That was a great run by Cooley. Once he saw a hole, you could see him lower the shoulder and kind of hit the boosters for an extra gain there. Good run for the Trojans.
Cooley and Riddle going to be pretty disgusting two-headed monster for the Potosi Trojans on offense this year if they stay healthy. And that's something that you worry about because there's been 3 or 4 stud running backs around this listening area that have been lost for the season in training camp. So you hope nothing else kind of happens with some of our premier players in this area. This is going to be a play-action pass from Huerta, but he's in trouble. He's going to be brought down. Actually, he dumped it off at the last second back to the 29-yard line. Looked like one of his offensive linemen. It was Zach Drennan who made the catch, or rather it was Caleb Curtois who made the catch at the 30-yard line. Must have been an eligible lineman on the play because no flags came out.
I think the referees might be discussing a little bit. I think it kind of caught them off guard too. It kind of looked like a desperation pass by Huerta, but it fell into the arms of one of his linemen.
It was Curtois on the catch. It was actually a loss of 5. But no doubt the lineman caught it, and no flag comes out. So second down and 15. So Huerta's first pass as the varsity starter for the Potosi Trojans loses 5 yards, and it's second down and 15 from the 30. Huerta comes under center. I formation set this time. Takes the snap. Hands it off to the second man through Riddle. Riddle starts to the near side and only gets a yard upended at the 31-yard line. Riddle, so far, not a lot of room to run, and he's a patient runner, and he's waiting for those holes to open up, and credit the Carnahan defense for getting to the ball pretty quick.
Yeah, I tell you, in the early going here, Carnahan's tackling well and making good open field tackles. With this running game so potent that the Trojans carry, you got to be impressed with the Carnahan defense so far.
And that's the thing. Getting there is one thing, and they have the speed to get there, no doubt about it, but you have to wrap up and make the tackle, and they have put on a clinic on form tackling so far, at least through the first 4 minutes of this ball game. I formation set again for Huerta. Blaine Riddle is the deep back. Also have 2 receivers out to the left. Coolidge going to be lined up as the slot receiver out to the left. John Thompson is wide left, and Dusty Douglas is the fullback. And do we have a timeout on the field, Garrett?
I don't know what's going on. The head referee was talking to the Carnahan coach about something. I'm not really sure what we're discussing.
Carnahan's going to come off the field. Potosi's going to remain huddled up. So it looks like the officials in this game so far, not quite in midseason form yet. They're still kind of holding this game back a little bit. I know last night we had a game just go well into the night, that North County game. There was over 30 penalties called in last night's North County game, and you hate to see that in any game, but especially on a night where it was so hot, and you kind of just want to get the game over with.
Yeah, and week 1 you can kind of expect that, but 30 flags is an awful lot.
Third down and 14 from the 31-yard line for Potosi. I formation set again. There's the snap and a play-action pass and a rollout for Huerta. He throws a spiral out to the left side, right at the sticks for Cooley. Jumps up and makes the catch. Gets in the open field. Bye-bye. He's looking for the end zone, and he found it. Touchdown, Austin Cooley for the first time this season. Certainly not the last. 69 yards for the all-district Dream Team wide receiver.
Yeah, and Huerta actually had a guy deep who was kind of covered up, and he made a good decision to dump it under to Austin Cooley, and a great block by a wide receiver for Potosi to open him up for the touchdown. How about the embarrassment of riches at the wide receiver position we've seen the last 2 nights, Garrett? I tell you what, the last 2 nights with Mannion, Strange, and now Austin Cooley, the wide receiver talent in this area is unbelievable. And that ball kind of sailed a little bit for Huerta, but Cooley just went up and snatched it at its highest point, just like you're taught to do. And now for the extra point, Potosi's looking for a lead here. There's the kick, and it is up and missed it to the left. On the attempt was Gabe Smith. So that's going to keep the game tied at 6 apiece. Carnahan scored on a 75-yard touchdown pass. Potosi scored on a 69-yard touchdown pass. We're even 6 apiece with 7:46 left to go in the first quarter. We're back in a minute on J98 and J98 Web TV.
Boyer Lumber, service and quality. Boyer Lumber, the way that it should be. Boyer Lumber, We know you by first name. Build with us, you'll be glad you came. Boyer Lumber, we have it all right here. Boyer Lumber, and help is always near. For service and quality, it's Boyer Lumber. Boyer Lumber.
Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy wants to be your healthcare partner. Hi, this is Debbie Hamby, Business Manager for Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy. Not only will you receive award-winning customer service, free delivery, and medication synchronization options, we also offer immunization services and free monthly diabetes education classes. In-store nurses offer free blood pressure and blood sugar checks. There are so many reasons to partner with your locally owned Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy in Deloge, Fredericktown, and Ironton. At Parkland Health Mart, we are caring for you and about you.
Exciting game so far in our second night of high school football on Kickin' Country J98 The Boot this weekend, and J98 Web TV. Potosi has tied up Carnahan 6-all in Potosi with 7:46 left to go in the first quarter. We've seen our first Austin Cooley touchdown of the year. And now it's going to be Cooley to kick this one off from the 40-yard line. It's a low line drive, end-over-end kick. It's going to be fielded back at the 15-yard line. Another bobble by Carnahan. They're so anxious to get up the field with it. He actually missed the football, but he gets a 10-yard return out to the 25-yard line, and that's where the Carnahan Cougars will take over with possession of the football. Nathan Fultz on the return for Carnahan, who is in his junior season as a defensive back for Coach Scott. Jordan Huerta's first pass as a Trojan starting quarterback went backwards, -5 yards. The next one, it was a little bit more positive. 69-yard strike to Austin Cooley, and that's how this game got tied up. 7:39 left to go first quarter. Now it's Carnahan's turn to try to answer back on offense. We'll see Michael Cooper bring his team back to the line, the freshman quarterback. You see just early on in the first few minutes of this game, he's a raw talent. He has 3 backs lined up back there with him. And there's the snap. He wasn't quite ready for it. Play action pass. Throws underneath. Almost intercepted. It was Blaine Riddle from the linebacker spot who read it all the way. Couldn't have read it any better. Just didn't make the catch. Incomplete.
Yeah, that's one of those that I'm sure Riddle wants back, and that ball hit him right square in the numbers. And so far in the early going, except for that, kind of a backyard football kind of a pass and play that Carnahan scored on, the secondary for Potosi's been playing really well.
Pass defense has looked pretty good. Even on the long touchdown pass, the defensive back made a pretty good play to jump on top of the ball, just knocked it in the air. One back in the backfield this time, and a 4 wide receiver set from the shotgun. Cooper drops back. He's pressured. All kinds of pressure coming out on him. Caleb Courtois finishes him off as he is brought down to the 25. But Waylon DeClue was the guy who tripped him up, and I think that's who the sack's going to go to, isn't it, Garrett?
Yeah, he'd made his defensive line made first contact behind the line of scrimmage, and DeClue came from the backside and made a good wrap-up tackle. Loss
of a yard for Michael Cooper. Doesn't officially go down as a sack because he was running with the football. So 2 carries for Cooper, 19 yards, 3rd down and 11 for Carnahan. And we'll likely see a pass coming up here. Now, they haven't been afraid to try to pass the ball with the young quarterback, and sometimes I think that's what you got to do. Throw your youngster into the fire and see how he responds. His confidence is probably pretty good right now that he's got a touchdown pass under his belt.
Yep, and the coaches see a lot more than we do during practice, and they might have a lot more confidence in his throwing ability. He looks calm and poised back there. Just made a couple errors in judgment so far.
And now we see a freshman mistake here with the young quarterback. Delay of game took too long to get the play in. And, we say that's his mistake. That could be a coaching mistake as well, just getting the play in a little bit too late. But that's going to back him up 5 yards and make it 3rd down and 16. Second penalty of the day for 10 total yards against Carnahan.
And the way Carnahan likes to pass, you got to think they're throwing on this 3rd and long here. And, so far, like I said, Potosi's secondary's played really well.
3rd down and 16 from the 19-yard line. There's the snap, and they will run the play-action pass. They'll throw the go route down the right sideline. The receiver adjusts to it in midair, goes up and makes the catch, and it's a 1st down into Potosi territory at the 44-yard line. What a play. What a grab.
I tell you, if that ball hangs up anymore, I think Potosi might have a chance of picking that off. But, it's kind of one of those jump balls, and the Carnahan wide receiver came down with it. It was a good play and a huge gain for Carnahan on 3rd and long.
It was Jalon Moore who jumped up there and snatched it, the junior wide receiver that went for 37 yards on the catch. And I'll tell you what, he's got a strong arm, this quarterback does, but he sure leaves it in the air for a long time. There's the snap, and the handoff goes up the middle to the running back, and it goes nowhere. Maybe a gain of 1 yard on the carry. It was Curtis Phillips Jr., number 30.
A good tackle by Dylan right there, making contact at the line of scrimmage and bringing him down.
38 yards rushing so far. Or actually 20 yards rushing so far for Cooper. Or for Carnahan as a team. 19 for Cooper and 1 for Phillips. Cooper is over 100 yards passing in this game. Second down and long here. There's the shotgun snap. Cooper under some pressure, dumps it off out in the flat, and a crown collision as the defensive back comes up and stuffs it. Jake Coleman comes out there and just blows up any chance that had of getting up the far sideline.
I tell you, that's a defenseman's dream right there. A ball hanging up in the air with pretty much an unprotected wide receiver and coming and lay in the wood. That's a good form tackle, and it's going to hopefully get the defense going. But right here, we got another 3rd and long. Look for Carnahan to attack through the air.
It was actually a linebacker, Coleman, from his outside linebacker spot who made the tackle. Nonetheless, it was a big hit. 3rd down and 11. Shotgun snap to Cooper. Drops back in the pocket, then steps to the near side. And he's going to try to scramble out of it, and the defense gets to him. And, he breaks through a couple of tackles before he is knocked eventually out of bounds. But he's not going down easy. In fact, somehow stayed out inbounds and got up close to the 40-yard line. Not near enough for a first down, but certainly a positive gain of around 5-6 yards.
And Michael Cooper broke about 4 tackles right there. And he's not running out of bounds. He's not shying away from contact at all. He's trying to run over people.
24 yards rushing for the quarterback on 3 carries here tonight. He's been hard to tackle for the Potosi defense. 4 minutes and 49 seconds left to go in the first, still tied 6-6.
I think Cooper might have been a little shaken up on that play. He trotted over to his old sideline. I think breaking all those tackles and trying to lower the shoulder might have gave him a stinger or something.
4th down and 4 yards to go right now. 4 minutes and 49 seconds on the clock in this first quarter. And we have a timeout. Carnahan, they'll burn their first timeout of the night. We'll step away here on J98 and J98 Web TV. We'll be back in 1 minute.
JV Contracting in Potosi does all types of concrete work, from retaining walls to foundations, from sidewalks to large patios and parking lots. There's no job too big or small. They take great pride in specializing in decorative and colored stamped concrete at very affordable prices, and they guarantee customer satisfaction. The name you can trust, JV Contracting in Potosi. Call 573-330-4563 and get started on your project today, or log on to jvstampedcrete.com for more information.
Do you need dirt work? Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling is the name to remember if your job requires a high-lift, dozer, backhoe, bobcat, dump truck, excavation, or hauling. Matt Stroud and his crew can get the job done right. Matt Stroud Excavation and Hauling covers St. Francis and surrounding counties, so give them a call at 573-756-2808 or 701-3258. That's Matt Stroud Excavating when you need work done.
Well, here's a spot. Carnahan in Potosi territory on a 4th down and 4 ball at the 38-yard line. Pretty much a spot where you go for it, I believe, if you're the Carnahan Cougars, and Potosi's defense stays on the field. Looks like that's going to be the case. We're going to see Phillips back there as the quarterback rather than Cooper. So Cooper was shaken up, and this could be a Wildcat situation, or he could just be the guy. The handoff, though, goes left side. Potosi's defensive line not having any of it. Zach Drennan in there on the stop from his linebacker spot. Defensive ends, defensive tackles in there as well. Drennan's the one who finished it off. Turnover on downs. Potosi takes over at the 38.
It's a good stop for Potosi. Sometimes that read option can kind of be tricky, with all the fakes and different running backs that can eventually carry the ball. Good stop on 4th and 4. Turnover on downs. See if Potosi can drive the field.
First down and 10 from their own 38-yard line and a 6-6 tie. Still first quarter action. 4 minutes and 44 seconds left to play on J98, the boot in the opening frame. We'll go back to a split back set. Huerta's going to come under center, and the two backs are Douglas and Cooley, or rather Riddle and Cooley. And the handoff goes to the left side. It's to Cooley. Cooley fights his way up close to the 45, about the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 6 for Austin Cooley. And when they hand it off to Austin, Blaine Riddle works as his lead blocker, and that's a pretty good option to have leading the way for you because Blaine's going to lay the lumber on you if you're a linebacker or a defensive end.
Yeah, and you can see Austin, trying to stretch the defense wide and then cut it back upfield. That's what they're taught. Let the defense over pursue and cut it upfield for more yards.
So far tonight, it's been all Austin Cooley for Potosi. 22 rushing yards, 69 receiving yards, and a touchdown. 2nd down and 4 from the 44. At the 4-minute mark in the first quarter. Back to the shotgun with twins to the left, twins to the right. Blaine Riddle is the lone set back. There's the snap, and they'll give it off to Blaine Riddle. And he was met at the line of scrimmage, got out of a tackle, has first down yardage, up the sideline, then cuts back middle. Back to the outside he goes, spins off a tackle, and is brought down at the 35-yard line of Carnahan for a first down run.
That's a good run by Riddle there. He was stopped in the backfield, like you said, was able to get away and showed his speed to get around the corner.
21-yard run on his 5th carry of the night, gives him 28 yards rushing, and he gains the team lead in rushing here tonight. Blaine Riddle, for the first time, kind of shows what he can do in the open field. Officials put the ball at the 35-yard line exactly. First down and 10. So Jordan Huerta, he steps into his junior season in a pretty good spot. Weapons all around him. All he has to do is put the ball in the right place, and so far tonight he's done that, although there has been one fumble on an exchange to the running back. A play-action pass run by Huerta here. Throws to the near side. And he makes a bad decision. It's intercepted. And on the return, the far sideline, Carnahan has one man to beat. He'll come back to the middle, and he's gone. The return's going to go 75 yards, and Carnahan takes the lead.
Yeah, it's just a mistake by Huerta there. He had 2 guys out in the flats that he was trying to throw to, overthrew the short one right into the hands of number 2, Eric Williams. And it looks like, did he get in the end zone down there, Glenn?
Maybe they ruled that he got pushed out earlier. Certainly looked like he had made it to the end zone, but they have now called the officials together, and maybe they're going to say he stepped out of bounds somewhere down the far sideline. Maybe they're talking about that. They could be talking about a potential penalty, but I didn't see any yellow fly. Certainly he wasn't pushed out anywhere close to the end zone because nobody had caught him to that point. I mean, He was in the open field. He was going to score no matter what. The only question might be is if he was pushed out when he was back around the 40-yard line or so. But as of right now, no score has been put up on the scoreboard.
No. The officials are gathered right at the 30-yard line discussing it.
And I just talked about Huerta, having a pretty good game, so far tonight. He throws an interception. He's been a part of 2 turnovers here in week 1.
Yeah, and, I've been there. You got a guy in your face, too. It kind of makes you nervous, and you rush things, and sometimes you throw the ball without wanting to. Trying to get rid of it, and in that case, it ended up in the wrong guy's hands. But, like I said, we've all been there. He had 2 guys open and just overthrew him.
Turns out there was a flag on the play. However, it's been picked up, so it's a touchdown. It will stand. A 75-yard interception return by Eric Williams. And a good play by him. Now, the interception was a gimme, but he had to weave throughout 11 would-be tacklers, and he got the job done getting to the outside. And if you let these Carnahan Cougars get to the outside on you tonight, you're not going to catch them. So you have to play contain, and even though you're out there as an offensive set, you have to go into defensive mode once that interception's made.
Right, and he intercepted the ball on the near sideline, ran all the way to the far sideline, and then up that sideline into the end zone. And like you said, you got to take good angles, especially with a speedy team like Carnahan.
Carnahan will go for 2 once again, and it's Phillips who lines up at the quarterback spot before the play can get going, though. And this could be a case all night tonight. It's been a little bit sloppy with some penalties. The flag flies once again. Could be another delay on Carnahan. But this is a situation, if it is a delay of game, you're sitting there waiting for the officials to figure out what they're going to do, and then you get the play call in, and you don't know exactly when the play clock started and stuff like that. So this is going to back Carnahan up to the 8-yard line on another 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, and then, like you said, with week 1, big festivities, and week 1 jitters for both sides. You're going to see a few mistakes that you won't see later on in the season, that they get cleaned up in practice. But so far, a pretty sloppy game for both sides.
Both Carnahan touchdowns have come off of pretty big Potosi mistakes tonight. Of course, the interception return, and then the 75-yard touchdown pass was a ball that was tipped up in the air as well. Landed right into the hands of Rhines. It'll be Cooper as the quarterback, and then it's going to be a timeout taken by Carnahan. 3:15 on the clock, first quarter. Carnahan 12, Potosi 6. We'll take a 30-second break on J98, J98 Web TV.
Unlimited Auto Body in Potosi does collision repair on all types of vehicles and custom graphics on motorcycles and boats. So whether it's a fender bender or a major repair, your vehicle will receive personal attention that guarantees it will come back looking like new. Mick Schlosser, owner of Unlimited Auto Body, wants you to know that you have the right to choose which body shop repairs your vehicle, not your insurance company. So let their work speak for itself. Choose Unlimited Auto Body located on North Missouri Street in Potosi because you do have a choice.
Hi, neighbor. Hey, I noticed the new landscaping around your yard. Looks pretty nice.
Thanks. We're doing some home improvements. And we did it all with Potosi Lumber.
Really?
We replaced cabinets, added new carpets, put in storm doors, customized replacement windows, and a lot more.
It's time for summertime home improvements. See Potosi Lumber, Highway 21 in Potosi.
The game as the quarterback, and he runs a play-action pass and puts it right on the money on a quick in route from his wide receiver, but the problem was his receiver dropped it, and it goes incomplete on the two-point conversion attempt. So good to see Cooper back out there, and he makes a good throw, and his receiver lets him down on that play.
Yeah, it is good to see him back out there. It's just a bullet thrown to his wide receiver that just flat-out dropped it. But like to see both teams kind of clean it up on both sides of the ball. But, like you said, week one jitters. Being a big crowd on a Saturday night, guys will start to settle down as the game goes on.
12-6 is our score. It was Sampa who dropped the pass, number 24, Carlandis Sampa, who is in his sophomore season, 5'10", 160-pounder, and he was pretty much all alone. The defender had been beaten to the inside, dropped it, and then the late hit came out to make sure he didn't catch it on a bobble. I shouldn't say late hit. It was in time, but it was certainly after the ball had hit him in the hands. So it's a 12-6 Carnahan lead at the 3-minute, 15-second mark, first quarter. It'll be Williams kicking off from the 40. Potosi ready to turn from the left side of the field. The Trojans have put Blaine Riddle back deep to return this time, rather than Austin Cooley. Williams gets a running start at it and kicks a low line drive, end over end kick. The Blacks Riddle back up to the 1 yard line. He starts dancing up the 15-yard line. He gets across the 20 to the 22 for a return of about 21 yards, and another crown collision right there as the special teams unit gets down there and knocks Blaine Riddle around.
Yeah, and here in the early going, Coach Casey's got to be somewhat happy with his offense. They've been moving the ball successfully, with just a couple mistakes on a fumble and interception here and there. But as far as running the football, they seem to have no problem. 2
turnovers on the night for Potosi. So far, 1 for Carnahan, and that's just difference in the game right now in the 6-point game. Both teams come off the field. Looks like it's another break to get rehydrated, as it is week 1 of the high school football season and very, very warm, very, very muggy outside. This is a rule mandated by the Missouri State High School Activities Association. 3 minutes and 8 seconds on the clock in this first quarter, 12-6. Carnahan on top of Potosi. In the second J98 game of the week, this week, Central Rebels over Sullivan last night, 34-27. And, of course, Central is a conference rival of Potosi, and could even see some of those Central players here tonight watching, or certainly listening or watching on J98 Web TV, because you look at that conference, and I would imagine Potosi is going to be the next team in line that could try to take this conference away from the Central Rebels. I would say St. Genevieve as well, but St. John's had some big injury issues, and they lost just about everybody from last year's 8-4 team. My guess is it's going to be Potosi, and I think the Rebels are going to be kind of looking out for the Trojans this year.
Yeah, and if you look at both teams, they're pretty similar in size and the way they kind of carry their offenses and defenses. Last night, as we've seen, Central's defense kind of got off to a slow start, but kind of picked it up later in the game to kind of the Central defense that you expect to see. But as far as the way that these two offenses conduct themselves, they're going to be a similar opponent and be up there for the top of that division.
Thank you, sponsors. While we have time to do so, American Family Insurance Agent Bill Best in Park Hills, County Do-It Center in St. Genevieve, Crown Collision Center in Farmington, Donaldson Cycles of Park Hills, and Fliggs Equipment in St. Genevieve. Of course, they sponsor the pregame show. Coming up at halftime today, which we're not even near the end of the first quarter, really, but at halftime, that show will be brought to you by Hood's Discount Home Center in Farmington. It's all good at Hood's, and we'll have the first half highlights from this game for you when that time comes. But we have 3 minutes and 8 seconds still left in the first. This first quarter has just kind of crept by. Huerta will line up under center with two backs in the backfield in the eye. The handoff goes to Blaine Riddle. Riddle tries to get the edge. That's not going to happen against this defense, and he gets no gain to the 21-yard line. Nothing doing for Blaine Riddle.
Yeah, just an outside run, trying to get around the corner. Had a defender on his back the whole time. Not much going on that play right there for the Trojans.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but I would have guessed against this team, your best bet might be to try a few inside runs, some dives, some ISO type of plays, and try to bust something up the middle and just kind of chew some clock and sustain some drives on these guys. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would, especially with the size advantage I think Potosi has over Carnahan right now. But give it to the Carnahan defense. They've tackled well and made the plays when needed.
That's what stood out the most is the tackling here tonight by Carnahan. They've done a good job of that. Potosi wants a timeout. 2 minutes and 24 seconds in this never-ending first quarter. It's 12-6. Carnahan on top of Potosi. We'll step away for 30 seconds. You're listening to J98.
DNS Small Engine Service and Sales in Potosi for all your lawn and garden equipment and one-on-one service. DNS Small Engine Service and Sales offers durable and innovative Husqvarna products from chainsaws to mowers. DNS Small Engine Service and Sales also offers the parts you need and the service to go with them. Remember, they carry Tanaka handheld tools and products as well. So stop by or call DNS Small Engine Service and Sales located on Woodmill Road in Potosi. Call 573-438-4999.
This is Mark Casey, head coach of the Potosi Trojans, and you're listening to high school football on J98.
Well, so far we've seen 3 timeouts. We've also seen a couple of official timeouts, a few penalties mixed in there, and then some other stoppages where it just looked like the referees were getting together to talk about what's going on after the game. But it's been a really slow-moving first quarter of 2 minutes and 24 seconds left to go. We've been playing the first quarter for 45 minutes, Garrett.
Yeah, it's been dragging by, and especially, with the heat, it makes it seem like a lot longer, too. I think the referees are a little winded, too, just like the players. So, at least they're getting hydrated and staying healthy, but I would like to see the game move a little bit faster, and I think the players would agree, too.
I wouldn't want to chase these guys up and down the field either. There's the snap, and the handoff comes to the near side. Blaine Riddle spins off a tackle across the 30 to about the 32, maybe the 33. Should be first down yardage. It is to the 33-yard line. A gain of 11 for Blaine Riddle. He showed a bit of a burst that time, didn't he?
Yeah, and there's the inside run you were just talking about. It seemed to work pretty good for the Trojans there, taking it in between the guards instead of trying to spread it out wide and letting the Carnahan speed get to him.
Touchdowns tonight belong to Larry Rhines, Austin Cooley, and Eric Williams. Williams and Rhines of Carnahan, Cooley of Potosi, all on big plays. We've seen a 75-yard touchdown pass, a 69-yard touchdown pass, and a 75-yard interception return that have all gone for touchdowns. 3 total turnovers in this game. Potosi has not committed a penalty, whereas Carnahan has committed 3 for 15 yards. And another timeout. Coach Casey's going to burn another one. He's going to have 1 left in this first half. He's used 2 in the first quarter. Carnahan has used 2 in the first quarter. And this just has week 1 written all over it. If this is still happening week 5, week 6, then you have some trouble. But I guess this isn't too much to worry about right now. It's more annoying than anything.
Yeah, and it's early, and the play calling, getting plays in, doesn't get practiced a whole lot.
New quarterback probably has something to do with that.
And, kids are just trying to get adjusted to it. But like you said, week 4 or 5, it'll be second nature to them. Half the time you could probably guess what your coach is going to call before he knows. That's just kind of the way football goes. But here, week 1, it's your typical uncertainty and a little hesitant.
By the way, you're listening to high school football on KTJJ FM, Farmington, Festus, Crystal City, Potosi. Potosi Trojans trail Carnahan in the first quarter, 12-6, with a 1 minute and 52 seconds left to go. We're also on J98 Web TV tonight at MyMoInfo.com, courtesy of Unlimited Auto Body in Potosi and Potosi R3 Schools. So far, Blaine Riddle, 7 carries for 39 yards. Austin Cooley, 3 carries for 22 yards. The quarterback, Jordan Huerta, a mixed bag. He's 1 for 3 for 64 yards and a touchdown. But but he's also had a negative 5-yard pass and an interception plus a fumble tonight. So he's had some success. He's also had some failures in this one. Hopefully we'll see more of the former rather than the latter as this game goes along. Huerta will line up with one back in the backfield from the shotgun. There's the snap, and the handoff goes to that back in the backfield, and the run comes to the near side, and a hard tackle down at the 40 for a gain of 6 yards. It was Kalen Litton, or rather, did they say Portell on the carry?
Portell, I think, got the carry on there on the near sideline here.
What number is Portell?
Number 10.
Number 10. I thought it was 30. So Jared Portell on the carry, and he gets 6 yards.
And you kind of see the Potosi run game. It's chewing up yards, but their main success has been up the middle, like you said earlier. I'd see him to go back to that.
Chandler Franklin lines up in the slot as a wide receiver on the near side. Twins left, twins right from the shotgun. Blaine Riddle is back in the backfield as the running back. He gets the handoff on a delay, had a big hole, then ran into a tackle close to a first down, just short of the 45-yard line, about the 44, and that's right where he needed to get, so it's going to depend on the spot. They've already motioned first down, Potosi Trojans.
Another inside run there by the Trojans, chewing up yards, driving the football here late in the first quarter. It looks like, as it's the kind of the non-typical game with all the timeouts and water breaks. Guys aren't really getting to a flow of things, but once they start, getting to the flow, I see a lot better production coming.
Thompson, Franklin, and Dylan King lined up as trips right to the near side of the formation. Cooley's the lone receiver out left. Blaine Riddle is the back. Shotgun snap goes to Huerta. He hands it off to Blaine Riddle. Riddle tries the edge, tries to stiff arm his man, didn't get the job done. Defensive back comes up and makes the stop in the backfield. And again, when he tries to stretch it out, these good tackling Carnahan Cougars are making that stop.
Yeah, Adrian Harris made a good open field tackle there. Potosi just can't quite get around the edge without a defender at least getting an arm on him, slowing him down, and waiting for the defense to come help. But like I said, good tackle by Harris in the open field.
I guess you got to keep trying the edge because you don't want to be one-dimensional, but certainly Riddle's strength tonight is going to be up the middle. But, yeah, show a few different things and see what you can get out of it. This might be the last play of the first quarter. We're down to 10 seconds, and, of course, the clock would stop before the play. It's going to be Carnahan taking their third and final timeout in the first quarter with still 8 seconds left to go, so that could be something that comes back and gets them.
Yeah, and both teams have burned a lot of timeouts here in the early going, and like you said, it's not even the second quarter yet. Besides water breaks in the second quarter, we should have a pretty smooth one.
Yeah, that's true, and on one thing, you don't want to burn all your timeouts, but it's better to use those timeouts if you feel like your defense is in a bad situation against the look that you're getting from the offense. So better safe than sorry.
And, like we said, we're definitely hot up here in the booth. We can't imagine putting about 10 pounds of equipment on and running up and down a 100-yard field. I'm sure the kids are gassed already, and coaches are not only wanting to talk strategy, but also giving their kids a little more time and break in between plays.
Tell you what, if we were down there, though, we might catch a cool breeze every now and then.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I'd probably catch one standing on the sideline, that's for sure.
12-6 is our score. Potosi Trojans trail Carnahan. Potosi has possession of the football, second down and 10. And the ball's at their own 44-yard line as the Trojans march left to right in this first quarter. We've seen big touchdown drives of 95 and 75 yards. We've also seen an interception return for a touchdown. But those two touchdown drives were big drives in this game, brought to you by ProCare Automotive in Bonne Terre. Competitive game so far between these two teams, and like we said, kind of like a boxing match. They're feeling each other out in this first half, and adjustments will be made at the break, obviously, and one of these teams will pull away as the victor tonight. We just hope it's the hometown team, Potosi Trojans, tonight, as they celebrate the opening of their brand-new football turf facility. Twins to the left, twins to the right for Huerta. Takes the snap. It's a high one. Hands off to Riddle. Riddle tried to hide behind that offensive line and cut back to the outside, but tell you what, Carnahan, another great pursuit to the ball. Gets him after a minimal gain, maybe 1-2 yards.
Yeah, and, another outside run, trying to get around the edge. Carnahan, once again, 3 or 4 tacklers right there to surround Riddle on the far sideline. And, it's been a kind of a back-and-forth game between the two, but, Potosi might get a first down, but then they're in another third and long situation by good defense. So it's going to be interesting to see if both offenses kind of break open the pass playbook a little bit more here in the second quarter.
That ends the first quarter. Blaine Riddle, 10 carries, 42 yards, a so-so 4.2 yards per carry so far for him tonight. That would average a first down, though. Second quarter comes your way in 30 seconds, a 12-6 Carnahan lead. We're back after this on J98.
Did you know that Earth Mother Health Foods, LLC, is owned and operated by our family for 24 years here in Farmington? This is Mary Lee. I would like to thank all of our customers for allowing myself and our well-informed staff to help you live a healthier life the natural way. We have expanded to now 4,000 square feet to include V-Tree Originals, custom tie-dye and art by our daughter Vicki the artist. That's Earth Mother Health Foods in downtown Farmington.
Second quarter is finally here. It's a 12-6 Carnahan lead over Potosi. G98 the boot. Saturday night football for you. Special edition of high school football on G98. There were also two games earlier this morning. The Festus Tigers lost to Westminster Christian 27-0. The Northwest Lions also had a ball game at 10 a.m. this morning. This is the final game of week one, and the Trojans are trying to win one here at home. They lost by 11 points to Carnahan in the season opener last year. Chandler Franklin motions from left to right from the shotgun. Huerta takes the snap, hands off to Blaine Riddle. Good move to pick up positive yardage. Flag comes in late as he gets tripped up short of the 50-yard line at the 47. And we'll see fourth down and long coming up. Fourth down, probably 6 or 7. And then we'll check the flag as well. This could be the first flag on the Potosi Trojans, too.
Looks like we got a holding call. Now moving back.
Should Carnahan accept it, but on fourth down, probably not going to accept this penalty. And I don't think Potosi would threaten to go for it on fourth and pretty long still on their own side of the field. We'll see what Carnahan wants to do, though. It is a hold. It is on Potosi. It is declined. So fourth down coming up, and that run will stand for Blaine Riddle. And the personnel will change for Potosi. We'll see the punt team come out on fourth down. Now, they still show 4th and 11. Now they're going to move the marker up and put it where it needs to be, 4th down and 7. That was a 4-yard carry to give him 46 yards. And I don't think Potosi fans like the spot of that football too much. They thought he was up a little bit farther. But to my view, I think 47, that was about right.
Yeah. It could have been a lot worse. He made a guy miss there at the line of scrimmage.
It'll be Phillips back to return for Carnahan, the backup quarterback. Oh, the punt's nearly blocked, but a low-line drive is going to dribble back and take a few Potosi bounces all the way to the 16-yard line, so it ends up being pretty good. That came in within about 6 inches of being blocked and turned out to be a good punt back to the 16-yard line. 36 net yards on the punt for Potosi. And Carnahan takes back over with 11:36 left to go in the first half.
You know, both defenses doing a fantastic job as far as the run defense goes. But Carnahan seems to be the more passing prolific type offense. So we'll see them to break out a little out of the playbook here in the second quarter, especially with no timeouts going into halftime.
That's true. And like you said earlier, this could be a quick second quarter in that regard with neither team having many timeouts. Potosi has 1, Carnahan has 0. But we will see some official timeouts for the water breaks. We'll see a few of those in this second quarter. Michael Cooper, he had left this game earlier. He had got hit pretty hard, had to leave the game for a few plays. He's back in there, the freshman quarterback, and he spreads the Potosi defense out with a 4-wide set. Trips to the left, but a flag flies before the snap, and it's another delay of game penalty, and we've seen 3 of those on Carnahan here tonight.
Yeah, and like we said before, it looks just to be that typical week one confusion going on, and trying to get the play in and get it called, get up to the line of scrimmage and get them down in 25 seconds can sometimes be a tough feat when you're not used to doing that week in and week out.
4 penalties for 20 yards against Carnahan, but they have turned the ball over one less time than has Potosi. But that puts the ball back at the 11, first down and 15. Trojans will run 4 down linemen against this spread set. Trips right, 1 to the left. Cooper from the pistol. Takes the pistol snap and fires the route over the top. It goes to Williams. He has the first down across the 30-yard line. Good play, and Williams got inside of this defender, and it was pretty easy pitch and catch from that point.
Yeah, that's probably one of the toughest pass plays to defend right there, the little slant route, and good arm by the freshman quarterback, zipping it to his wide receiver for a nice gain.
Ends up being a 17-yard gain on the pass and catch. Williams with his first reception of the night. He was the guy who made the interception return for a touchdown earlier this evening. 1st and 10 from the 28. Now a pass over the middle is tipped and nearly intercepted. It was Zach Drennan who dropped back in coverage from the linebacker position and knocked it down, incomplete.
Yeah, it's a good coverage by a linebacker. Sometimes it's hard for them. Their mind focus is tackle, 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 and sometimes they forget they have to be a pass defender as well. And good play by the Trojan linebacker right there.
125 yards passing so far tonight by Michael Cooper. Carnahan breaks the huddle on 2nd down and 10 from the 28-yard line with an incomplete pass. The clock stops at 11 minutes and 16 seconds left to play first half action. Twins left, Twins right. There's the snap, and the handoff on a delay comes up the middle and a good run across the 35 to the 37-yard line. And that goes right back to number 10, Larry Rhines.
Yeah, good run right there. Actually had to break a few tackles there at the line of scrimmage. The Potosi defensive lineman just couldn't wrap him up and bring him down for no gain.
That's going to be a 9-yard carry on his first carry of the night. It's going to be 3rd down and 1 at the 37-yard line. Still on Carnahan's side of the field. Since the second quarter, swap sides of the field. It's Carnahan moving left to right. If you're looking on J98 Web TV, Potosi defending right to left. Pistol snap, and there it comes to the quarterback. He keeps it running up the middle, looking to just pick up enough for a first down, but Potosi read it pretty quickly and got in there and made the stop. And it's a second effort. Could have got him close to a first down, but from my vantage point, didn't look like he got it. Didn't look like there was a gain that time by Cooper. No gain, 4th down and 1 coming up, and now here's decision time. Do you want to go for this close to midfield? Well, still shy of the 40-yard line, though. 4 carries for the quarterback and 24 yards tonight for Carnahan. Looks like the personnel didn't change, and Carnahan does want to go for it. They have confidence that they can pick up a yard. They need closer to 2 yards, though. It's 4th and a very long 1. See if they maybe just try to draw Potosi off sides. Twins left, Twins right. They will take the snap, and they'll throw it out in the flat to the receiver. He'll have to dance and try to pick up first down yardage, and he does. A stiff arm gets him just enough to the 45-yard line. It's a first down. It's actually a gain of 8 yards and a good play by Carnahan.
Yeah, it was, just a bubble pass out to the flat here. And, those are pretty hard to defend. He broke a few tackles, but, the defender's got to come up, break down, and make a good solid tackle, especially when you only have 3 or 4 yards to give up.
Jelon Moore on the catch, 2 catches, 45 yards for him tonight. First down and 10, ball at the 44-yard line, Carnahan's side of the field, so it's a big 4th down conversion there. And they keep this drive going, and they're trying to wear Potosi down tonight. Twins to the left. Actually make it trips to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Pistol set, and there's the snap. They'll throw the other flat this time. They go to Williams, but the flag comes in and stops the play before it gets started. If there's been one thing Carnahan has not done well tonight, it's been the penalty situation. If this is on them, it's number 5. And it is procedure penalty against Carnahan. That'll be the 5th penalty for 25 yards tonight. At least they've all been 5-yard varieties, though. Those 15 yards can rack up your penalty yardage in a hurry.
Right, and, with the kind of offense that they run where everybody's spread out, you got to make sure you have the right number of guys on the line. It can become a little confusing. And, we come back to the same old scenario, week 1 jitters. And I think up to this point the game's kind of been running pretty smooth. No timeouts for Carnahan, only 1 for Potosi. You're kind of seeing guys get into a groove of football actually without the breaks breaking up their flow.
But I think we were spoiled last night with the lack of penalties and the lack of kind of early season things that we saw in last night's game. Now it's a pass over the middle that's juggled and maybe caught. The flag comes in late. And the ball ended up coming out. I believe this is going to be ruled an incomplete pass at the Potosi 46-yard line, but we'll check the flag as well. Could be in the area of a pass interference. It was thrown in the secondary.
Yeah, I think that's what's probably going to happen right here. It looked like Cooley might have made a little contact before the ball had gotten to the receiver.
First penalty of the night, actually the second, but the first penalty that's been accepted of the night against the Potosi Trojans. And the ball did go incomplete. The pass interference will put Carnahan in a good position into Potosi territory. Certainly want to mention Pole Eat Ready Mix and Potosi for sponsoring the broadcast tonight. Culligan Water in Leadington, Mega Sports in Farmington, Potosi Lumber Company. West Transportation in Bismarck, Moyer's Muffler in Park Hills, and Grand Oaks Heating and Cooling. They are in Leadington. So they march the penalty yardage to the 45-yard line in Potosi territory. And Carnahan has it again from the pistol snap. It's Cooper running to the left, stiff arms a man, and then got upended. He actually tripped himself up back to the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 3 by Michael Cooper.
Yeah, it was good containment by the Potosi defense there, making him cut up inside, and he just lost his footing. But you're starting to see a little some hitting going on down there. I think guys are starting to get after it tonight.
2nd down and 14. I think probably on Potosi's side, some frustration probably starting to get in their heads a little bit because this drive has kind of been sustained by Carnahan. Carnahan's done a good job kind of taking some air out of the football and slowly, methodically moving the ball down the field on Potosi, and they went off the field right here.
Yeah, they do. You can tell kids are starting to get a little fired up and wanting to get things going and stop the drive that Carnahan's on right now.
2nd down and 14, trips left, 1 to the right, pistol set, and they'll throw underneath. And a great forward tackle, a pass caught in the backfield and nowhere to go. It's Jordan Huerta who plays an excellent linebacker spot. He came up and just stuffed Larry Rines for a big loss and a crown collision of the game right there.
I think we got some more confusion here, Glenn. Great hit by the Potosi defender, but I don't think the wide receiver ever actually came in contact with the ground. I think he fell on top of the Potosi defender.
But they've blown the play dead, and there's really nothing they can do. So Carnahan, they don't like this call at all. Potosi may have caught a break on the play. But I think you're right. It looked like Rines had fallen on top of Jordan Huerta. Ends up being a 10-yard loss for Larry Rines. Now he's down to 2 catches for 65 yards. Back to the shotgun here, and there's a man in motion, and another flag flies here in this first half. Another penalty.
Looks like another delay game.
And it goes on Carnahan. Another 5-yard variety. But quickly, those have racked up 6 penalties for 30 yards against Carnahan. For them in this drive, it's been 1 step forward, a couple steps back, and then in the last sequence of about 2 to 3 plays, it's been about 40 steps back. We're looking at 3rd down and forever here. 3rd and 25. Now in their own territory again, back at the 40. From the shotgun with twins left and twins right. Rines comes in motion, back to the backfield from the right side. Then he throws underneath to the far side. Williams gets popped by Zach Drennan. Ball came out late. Potosi says they have it. And they do. It's a big turnover, and Zach Drennan just destroyed that play. That's the Crown Collision Center collision of the game. Potosi gets the turnover they need, and they take over in Carnahan territory.
Yeah, that was the slant play that's been working for Carnahan all night, and the Potosi defender read that really well, and made a good solid hit, popped the ball loose, recovered it. Potosi ball right around midfield.
Each team has now turned the ball over twice. Williams with that fumble. Zach Drennan with the big hit to create that turnover. It's a big play in this game so far. Potosi still trails 12-6 with 7:33 left to go in the first half. We'll break for a water timeout, and we're coming back in 30 seconds. Potosi football on J98.
The new generation, Hoods Discount Home Center.
Hoods Discount Home Center. More for your money, guaranteed. All this month, choose 20% off all in-stock carpet and pads, 20% off all in-stock ceramic tile, or 20% off 600 to 700 series Waypoint cabinets when you purchase 12 or more. It's all good at Hoods. That's Hoods Discount Center, Highway 67 South, Farmington.
Hoods Discount Home Center.
Zach Drennan with one of the best hits that you will see. Pops the ball out of the hands of Williams. Ends up being a fumble after a 3-yard catch. Potosi now has the ball at the Carnahan 45-yard line. 7:33 left to go in the first half. Zach Drennan is a guy who's going to probably have a banner year for this Potosi defense if he can stay healthy. He's one of the best offensive linemen, if not the best, and he's also one of the best linebackers on this team. An all-around stud player for Coach Mark Casey.
Yeah, it's 6 foot, 207 pounds. Just looks like a solid linebacker out there, coming up and making big plays for his defense when they need him most.
That hit's going to haunt my dreams tonight. That was exactly how you would want a linebacker to jar the football loose. Ball at the 45 of Carnahan. Potosi breaks their huddle. And we'll see a new receiver check into the game. Dylan King is back out there. He will line up wide left, and the slot receiver to the left side is going to be Thompson. Split backs once again for Potosi. They'll run the double fake play action pass. Huerta's in trouble with it, and he goes backwards. He done exactly what he shouldn't have done. He retreats all the way to the 35 and gets brought down eventually. It was 22 coming up with the stop, LaRon Washington among others.
Yeah, that's just a busted play. The right side of the defensive line from Carnahan had Huerta surrounded. It's kind of one of those plays where you'd like to see him throw it out of bounds, but on the flip side, he just didn't have any time to do so.
18-yard loss. He went from his own 45 to the 37, or from Carnahan's 45 to his own 37, just running for his life, and he had no chance. One receiver left and one receiver to the right with the split backs this time. Huerta from under center hands it off back to Riddle. Riddle with a big hole. He's going to try the middle of the field, then come back to the near side across the 50-yard line. Jukes at the 45. Carries a man to the 41-yard line. Right back into Carnahan territory. A great run on second down and 27 from Blaine Riddle.
And that's exactly what the Potosi offense needed right there. A big pick-me-up after that big play for a loss. A good run, trying to stretch it out and cut it right back up in the middle for a huge gain. And I tell you what, he's running the ball hard tonight, isn't he?
12 carries, 67 yards. That was a 21-yard run. And you get 21 yards on a carry, and it's not enough for a first down. That means you weren't put in a very good position. It's now third down and 6 to go from the 38-yard line, or rather the 41-yard line of Carnahan. Scoreboard is now correct. 41-yard line. One receiver right, one receiver left, and it is two backs in the backfield from the eye. They give it off to Riddle, and Riddle was met immediately. Might have tripped over his own shoes, and it's going to be fourth down as he lost to about 3 yards back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's just another broken play. I think he might have got tangled up in the quarterback's feet there on the exchange on the handoff. Kind of stalled the drive right there. We've seen two good plays and two bad ones that cost them a fourth down right here.
Well, they're right back where they started. It's fourth down and 10. It was an 18-yard loss, a 21-yard gain, and then a 4-yard loss, so fourth down and 10. Talk about one step forward, two steps back. That's exactly what happened for Potosi. 5 minutes, 55 seconds left to go in the half, and we'll see the punt team out there for the Trojans. And the punter will arc a high spiral toward the near sideline, tried to angle it to the coffin corner, but it bounces out of bounds for a touchback. Wes Dockery, the 5'11", 190-pound senior, with the punt. And he's done a pretty good job putting a charge into a couple of his kicks, just didn't get a good bounce that time around.
With these new fields, too, the bounce the ball is going to take is going to be a lot different than it would be on grass. Sometimes on this kind of a rubber turf, you gotta hit the ball just right to make it pop up in the air or bounce backwards the way you want it to.
12-6, Carnahan still on top. First quarter, I was thinking we might see a shootout here, but now the defenses have settled in and played a nice game, haven't they?
Yeah, they have, and really, if you take a look, the offensive on both sides have kind of shot each other in the foot with penalties and making mistakes as far as taking big losses for a gain. So give the defense credit, but also the offenses on both sides have kind of stalled.
Both offenses just under 200 yards so far of total offense. It's been a pretty evenly matched game. The big difference has been the interception return for a touchdown by Williams of Carnahan. From the shotgun, the quarterback keeps it after a play fake, runs to the left side, flag flies. He's bottled up back at the 20-yard line or so. And we'll check the laundry one more time for Carnahan. It seems like when they're on offense, that's when the flags are coming out quite a bit. And another one that comes against Carnahan. I believe they motion holding on this play for the Cougars. If that is the case, that'll be penalty number 7 for 40 yards against Carnahan. Whereas Potosi, give them credit, they've only had the one penalty for 10 yards tonight.
Yeah, pretty clean game on their side. But
their biggest issue has been the turnovers.
Right, and Carnahan's issue has been the penalties. And most of these are happening on, I think, besides the pass interference play, both offenses are just not in sync tonight right now, and they're really going in the first half.
They've shown flashes of being in sync. I mean, they'll go a drive or two where they're really doing well, and then they'll stall out. Other times, they march backwards like Potosi did on this previous drive, and now what Carnahan's doing. They've set them back inside they go all the way back inside the 10-yard line there.
Looks like it. He called, was it holding or was it a face mask?
Almost must have been a personal foul then if they marked them back that far. But they went half the distance to the goal all the way down to the 8-yard line. First down and 21 is the official distance to go. Now they're going to try go deep down the left sideline, and the ball's well overthrown by Michael Cooper. The closest man there was Chandler Franklin of the Potosi Trojans, and that one aired out a little bit too much. Cooper throws an incomplete pass. He's been off and on tonight. He's made some good throws. He's made some bad throws.
Yeah, and looking at, he's got a nice arm. Puts a nice ball up in the air, just overthrew a receiver, and Franklin almost ran that one down for an interception in midfield.
That was the thing. The overthrow was kind of prevalent there. Carnahan saw they weren't going to get to it, but Potosi's secondary was thinking, you know what, if I can get to this football, I might have myself a big play and maybe even a touchdown return. So they weren't going to give up on that. Second down and 21, back at the 9-yard line. Shotgun snap goes to Cooper. Cooper does a good job staying out of the end zone there as he got backed up and then came back up the middle, broke a few tackles, but ultimately stopped well short of anything close to a big gain, maybe a yard or two on the run as he just came right back up through the middle, and Potosi's defensive ends eventually got to him.
Yeah, and that's a good defensive play. I've seen numerous times on a pass play like that where something opens up in the middle. Defenders almost forget about the quarterback running. They're so focused on him airing the ball out. Good play by the Potosi defense there to contain him in the middle of the field.
Third down and 20 from the 10-yard line. Called a 1-yard gain by Cooper. Trips to the right, one receiver to the left from the shotgun. Cooper takes the snap, drops straight back, tries the out route to the near side. Ball goes in and out of the hands of Jelon Moore and incomplete. And we'll see a 4th and 20 and maybe a chance for Potosi to catch a break here, but do we see another flag?
Yep, another flag down right behind the line of scrimmage.
Could be a late hit. We see a player down on the field for Carnahan still, and then they eventually help him up. That was the quarterback, I believe, who got up late.
Looks like it's going to go on Carnahan again. Looks like the head referee's explaining the situation to a Potosi player.
It's been one of those games tonight, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. And if it wasn't week one, and I was the head coach, I'd be concerned. But, penalties can always be fixed. Penalties can always be fixed in practice. So I'm sure both coaches have been around long enough to know to expect this during week one.
You're right. It was on Carnahan. Penalty was declined by Potosi to set up 4th down and 20 from the 9-yard line. Williams will be the punter, and it's going to be Chandler Franklin back to return rather than Austin Cooley. So it could be a situation for Austin that maybe they don't want to kind of wear him out on special teams tonight. So Chandler Franklin's going to be the guy waiting for it at the Trojan head back at the 50. Pretty good logo they've put out there. Another flag comes in, and we might see a delay, and it's on Carnahan. What a nightmare. It's too many men this time for Carnahan. We've seen a couple of those. We've seen 3 or 4 delays. Personal foul penalty. That happened earlier on this drive. That's the penalty that backed him up. And this too many men on the field is going to be half the distance to the goal, or will it? Actually, it should put him back at the 4-yard line.
This is going to be a tough situation to punt out of here for Carnahan if Potosi. Looks like Potosi's going to decide to bring a heavy rush at him and see if they can't get something blocked here.
Williams standing at the back of the end zone, waiting for the snap to punt this one deep. Potosi probably going to send everybody at him. There's the snap. Here comes the rush. He gets a pretty good punt off. It's a high-end over-end kick that bounces at the 35-yard line, takes a Carnahan bounce, then a Potosi bounce back to the 33. So 33 net yards on the punt. Potosi sets up in great field position, but they got to get that offense rolling again like they had it going in the first quarter and try to figure out how to punch one in.
Yeah, and, the run game seems to be their bread and butter. And, with 4 minutes and 29 seconds left, plenty of time to punch one in from this spot on the field.
Let me know. We're going to see another water timeout, it looks like, but let me know when we come back from break. If you see Austin Cooley on the field, I haven't actually seen him out there on the past couple of drives for Potosi. We've seen some other receivers mixed in there, and he's not been in the special teams unit as well, and now we have located him. He's on the bench, and looks like he might have gotten his bell rung, and that could be an issue. Potosi not playing, playing without certainly their best player for the past couple of drives.
Yeah, and that could be a little reason why the offense is kind of stalled a little bit. Without their quote unquote ace on the field, there could be a lot of confusion. When you take team reps in practice, he's usually going to be your main focus, your go-to guy. You want to put the ball in your ball player's hands. But with him on the bench, it could be a cause of some confusion out there for the Trojans.
Well, he's got his helmet on, sitting on the bench. It looks like he's trying to psych himself up to come back into this game. You hope it's just a fatigue situation or a cramp situation that can be worked out. Hopefully nothing serious. But I just thought that that last drive and then the last two special teams plays that he wasn't on the field. So I wanted to see if he was going to take the field with the offense this time around. And sure enough, he is still on the bench as Potosi's offense comes back on the field. We'll not take a break. We'll keep it right here with 4:29 left to go in the second quarter. But, you don't have an explosive playmaker like that for maybe the rest of this game. Hopefully not, but if that's the case, that's certainly going to slow down your offense.
Yeah, and it's gonna change the way Coach Casey, calls plays too. Without his best wide receiver and running back out there, it's going to change up the game plan, and it's going to take a while for the kids to get adjusted to that.
4:29 on the clock. Potosi does start in great field position at the Carnahan 32-yard line. Austin Cooley looks on from the bench. One receiver left, one receiver right. There's the snap, handoff to the deep back. This goes to Blaine Riddle. He's got some blocking out in front of him. Tries the near side, gets to the edge, cuts back inside of the 25-yard line, falls forward inside the 25 to about the 23. It's a 9-yard carry or thereabouts for Blaine Riddle.
A good run by Riddle there. And with Cooley sitting on the bench, I think we're going to look for him to get a heavy workload here going into halftime.
That's your next option. And, some would argue he might even be the first option on this Potosi offense. Certainly a great two-headed monster that they throw at you. It was enough for a first down for Blaine Riddle, so 74 yards on 14 carries tonight for Blaine. He's a dream team caliber player that we could be saying at the ceremony this December. Should he put together the season most expect him to, coming off of a 15-yard rushing season a year ago. I formation set, another stretch play. This goes to Riddle. Riddle tries to hurdle a man across the 20, gets upended for another Crown collision, brought to you by Crown Collision Center. Inside the 20-yard line for a 3-yard gain for Blaine.
And if Potosi can keep sustaining these drives and keep chewing up yards, let the clock wind down, go into half, at least with a tie ball game, good run by Riddle again. And, like I said, keep chewing up yards and get you a first down in the red zone.
Second down and a long 6 or a short 7 for Potosi. Riddle remains the deep back in the eye. One receiver right, one receiver left. There's the snap and there's the handoff. Another stretch. It comes out to Riddle. Riddle has all kinds of room to the left side. 10-yard line and ran out of bounds inside the 10 to the 9. That's good for a first down and a 9-yard carry from Blaine Riddle.
Excellent blocking by the Potosi Trojans out on the near sideline here, giving Riddle room to run.
You can tell now that Coach Casey has put it in his mind that he's going to ride his horse preferably to the end zone here on this drive. And now you just hope Riddle can kind of hold up and carry a heavy workload on his shoulders tonight, because it's looking like Potosi's going to need him to get probably over 30 carries.
Yeah, that's no joke. I mean, he's gotten, I think, every carry in this drive so far. But, so far so good. He's doing well and keeping Potosi's drive alive.
The line and Dusty Douglas, the fullback, have done a good job for him in this drive, too. Same set, I formation. Another stretch handoff. This comes to Riddle. Riddle bounces to the outside. Stiff arms a man. Gets to the 5-yard line. Outraces everybody else to the pylon. Quarter pylon. Touchdown, Trojans. Ties the game with 3:17 left to go in the first half. Blaine Riddle did it all on that drive.
Yes, that was an outstanding drive by the whole Potosi team there. Good blocking once again. And, Riddle's showing some skills out there. It's almost like an Xbox joystick. He's putting some good juke moves, and a lot of high schoolers think a juke move is kind of for style points, but not so in Blaine Riddle. He's using it to his advantage, trying to get away from defenders, and scored a touchdown there using that.
8-yard touchdown run, his first of the season, 17 carries, 94 yards. And you're right, that little bounce to the outside where he just kind of skip-hopped and jumped just gave him enough, put the defense in kind of freeze mode for just enough amount of time to get that edge and get the touchdown. Now Potosi's going to go for 2 and look for a 2-point lead here. They hurry up to the line and then wait. And now they'll back up, and we have another delay here. Not a delay of game, but just a delay. They'd broken the huddle, then come back and huddled right back up, so they hadn't started the play clock yet. And in that situation, why rush things? Play clock still hasn't been started. 3:17 on the clock. That was a 32-yard drive by Potosi. Another big drive in this game. Brought to you by ProCare Automotive in Bonterre. Capped off by an 8-yard touchdown run by Blaine Riddle on the new turf field tonight. Riddle and Cooley have gotten into the end zone. Cooley, though, in case you missed it, he's on the sideline. Looks like he's got cramps. He just got off the bench and heads back over to the sideline. And by watching him walk, it looks like he's cramped up. Now he's bent over at the waist, fixing his socks, maybe trying to stretch out those hamstrings. We're going to keep a good eye on him tonight and see if he's able to return to this game. Just the fact that he's standing on the sideline, though, is a good sign.
Yeah, and when you don't see a trainer over there with him 24/7, kind of giving him space, it's kind of a good sign, I think.
Potosi going for two. They hand off to Riddle. Riddle stuffed in the backfield. Now an extra effort gets him close, but not close enough. He got to the 1-yard line on the 2-point try. The game stays tied at 12 apiece. 3:17 left to go in the first half. It's been a good one and a hot one in Potosi tonight. We'll come back with a Carnahan possession in 1 minute on J98 and J98 Web TV.
1, 2, 3, 4, 24, 44.
Clarissa, what are you doing now? Glad to see you know how to count anyway.
I do, but apparently you don't. Have you seen how large the inventory is on new and pre-owned equipment? We barely have room for it all.
Well, you told me to stock up, and I've been taking in so many trades. Well, it just adds up. Fast, Almost as fast as I can fly. More man.
Jason, all I know is you better be prepared to make some deals for our customers. I want space in the showroom and on the lot. You better start wheeling and dealing, big guy, or I'm going to start making up my own prices. The queen and the green will take a whole new meaning. The green I'll save our customers will be nothing you've ever imagined, Mouse. Now move.
Fleece Equipment, save some green and save me. More man. Fleegs Equipment, Highway 32 in St. Genevieve. Online at fleegs.com.
Fleegs Equipment. Let our family serve your family.
Now the ensuing kickoff for the Potosi Trojans. They will squib it. Kicked at the 35-yard line or picked at the 35-yard line, returned to the 40, and Carnahan takes over with good field position there. 3 minutes, 11 seconds left to play. Garrett, it took over a quarter between our last touchdown, which was the 75-yard interception returned by Williams, and then the most recent touchdown, the 8-yard run by Riddle. So a quarter went by where these defenses were really dominating this game, and the offenses were not in sync. Finally, an offense broke through there.
Yeah, and I think you might see a strategy coming together for the Potosi offense. Blaine Riddle, he got you pretty much a drive by himself into the end zone, and
accounted for all 32 yards.
Right, and hopefully your defense holds up the way it has all game.
First down and 10 from the 40. Carnahan Cougars back on the field in a tie game, 12-12. Potosi has not led in this game to this point. 3 receivers left, 1 receiver to the right. The handoff goes left side, and it's Phillips. Phillips fighting for yardage. These Cougars aren't going down easy. He gets close to the 40-yard line to kind of get back to the line of scrimmage, but it's officially no gain. Curtis Phillips on the carry, and I do see, you said a flag, and it came, back in the Potosi secondary, it looked like.
Yep.
Curtois on the tackle for Potosi. He plays a defensive end and a very good defensive end for the Trojans, replacing a very good one, Dallas Syme, from a year ago. Another penalty that goes against the Carnahan Cougars. And if they find themselves on the losing end of this game tonight, that's going to be a big reason why. Just a little rusty on the...
Yeah, too many penalties have set them back. They're going the opposite direction once again. Going to have a long first down. And like I said, most of these penalties can be fixed, and I'm sure the coach for Carnahan's going to have a few words for him in the locker room about making penalties, especially on the offensive end. That seems to be where most of their penalties are occurring.
And those 5-yard penalties are annoying. This was a personal foul 15-yard penalty. That's downright upsetting as a head coach. Now you're looking at first down and 25, and that's hard to climb out of. I don't care who you are.
Yes, it is, and this is a good opportunity for the Potosi defense to capitalize on a Carnahan mistake.
Twins right, 1 receiver left, 1 back in the backfield. That's Phillips flanking Cooper to his right. Man in motion from right to left is Rhines, and they'll give it to him on the jet sweep. He tries the edge and just gets back to the 30-yard line. Gain of a few on the play, but he was looking to break 1, maybe 2 more tackles, and he could have been up far sideline for a big, big play. But as it stands, it's going to be a 5-yard carry, 3rd and 20 coming up.
Yeah, good tackle by Caleb Curtis there, making a good pursuit to the football, taking the correct angle and wrapping up and bringing him down.
Rhines has 2 carries for 14 yards, also has 2 catches for 65 yards. A 75-yard touchdown reception, but he also had a catch for a 10-yard loss tonight. 3rd down and 20 from the 30-yard line. This is a tough conversion right here. There's the snap, and the handoff comes to the near side. They gave it to Rhines again. Actually, it's a different player who got it, and Waylon DeClue comes over and makes the stop, so it doesn't matter. It's a 5-yard loss. It wasn't Rhines. It was actually 15 who got the carry for the Carnahan Cougars, and that's going to be Nathan Foltz.
Yeah, good open field tackle by DeClue, and Jake Coleman did a great job. Could have overplayed that play and let the runner bounce to the outside, but kept him forced in and made a great tackle.
4th down and forever, about a mile. Pretty much need to get to Farmington before you can get a first down here if you're the Carnahan Cougars. So we'll see the punt team come out there. In a good situation for Potosi. Neither team has a timeout left, a minute 59 left to go. You would think you're probably going to get great field position after this punt, either in Carnahan territory or pretty close to it. Now you've figured out an offense that's kind of worked for you. And with 2 minutes left, probably still just enough time to still feed the rock to Blaine Riddle.
Yeah, and of course, and with the defense playing well, that's just going to help your offense out on the flip side of the ball. And like you said, I think, with Cooley being out, Coach Casey went to backup plan number 2, which it could be a backup plan number 1 with Riddle running the football.
I like what you said there. Yeah, backup plan number 1, Blaine Riddle, because certainly he's not a number 2. He's more of a 1A, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's running the ball hard tonight, and pretty much, put the offense on his shoulders. One of our other, top-tier athletes is down. I'll take the load myself.
Still no Cooley on the field for this punt return set. Chandler Franklin's going to be the punt returner. Williams will be the guy who boots it deep for Carnahan. It's a 12-12 tie. Neither team has a timeout left in this first half. This has been the longest first half of my life, I believe. I don't know, hour and a half into it. Probably seems longer because we're just sitting up here in kind of a sauna in the press box.
Yeah.
But hour and a half of play so far and still 2 minutes left to go in the second. Williams sets up as the punter for Carnahan. The line of scrimmage is the 25. It's a 4th down and 25. A snap that wasn't very good. Williams did a good job of handling it. Boots it back to the 40-yard line. Takes a Carnahan bounce, and they actually downed it before they should have. It was bouncing further back, but they put it down at the 31-yard line. Foltz is the one who downed it. Looked to me like that was going to roll a few yards further back.
Yeah,
they downed it early.
Yeah, the Carnahan guy kind of touched it a little early. Like I said, with this field, there's no telling how far the ball might roll on this kind of turf. But about a minute 51 left for the Potosi offense to get something going here and maybe take the lead going into halftime with a little momentum.
Still for Williams there. That's a great punt. That's a 43-yard punt, even though it was down pretty early. And Potosi, rather than starting in Carnahan territory, they'll have to start at their own 32-yard line. No timeouts left. And still no Austin Cooley that I can see out there for the Trojans. Yep, he's still on the sideline. So let's see if they want to run the ball with 1 minute 51 seconds left to go. My guess is they will, and they will. They give it to Blaine Riddle. Oh, defense all over that one. Then the flag comes in. It's a loss of about 3, maybe 4 yards off to the left side. That defensive push from the defensive line of Carnahan was too much for the Potosi offensive front.
Yeah, Carnahan sniffed that run out, with Riddle getting the ball every time on the last drive. They're probably keying on him quite a bit to stop him and make somebody else beat him.
Preliminary signal is here that the penalty is going to be on the Potosi Trojans, which would just be their second of the night. And it might be interesting to see if it gets accepted or not. Looks like it will be accepted, but you were looking at 2nd down and probably about 14 or 1st down and at 20. So it's a holding penalty on Potosi, and Coach Scott decided to go ahead and accept the penalty, make it 1st down at 20. And I think that's the right call because here in the 2-minute drill, you're not so much worried about down and distance. You're worried about the length of the field, and now Potosi has to drive even further to go down and score on
it. In a minute 44, the clock running right now. It's going to be tough to get it down there, but it looks like maybe they're spreading the offense out here.
Well, still in the eye, but the 2 receivers are out wide right and left. They will still give it off to the right side to Blaine Riddle. Riddle's got some room to run to the outside, and he's close to the original line of scrimmage. I'd say about 4 yards short of the original line of scrimmage, and it's going to be 2nd down and long. But good running room there for Blaine. Problem is the clock's still ticking at a minute 20.
Right, and, he's been running the ball hard all night, taking the load. And you're trying to get around that end and get him close to getting a 1st down. Looks about 2nd and 15.
On that carry, it was an 8-yard gain for Riddle. He has broken the century mark, 102 yards rushing on 18 carries. We're down under 60 seconds left to play, though, in the second quarter. Hood's Discount Home Center halftime show is coming up next. Potosi going to try to get down the field and score, but they don't have their best receiving option. Austin Cooley on the field from the eye. They want to hand it off again. Blaine Riddle comes to the near side this time, shakes a tackle at the 30, but upended as he gets pushed backwards from the 30 to the 29 at 41 seconds left to go. 2-yard carry for Blaine Riddle.
Potosi trying to hurry, get on the ball. Maybe run a next play here. Looks like to be a little confusion.
3rd down and long. Again, neither team has a timeout left. Chandler, Franklin, King, and Thompson are the wide receivers on the field. Franklin lined up as a tight end, actually. Another handoff goes to the right side. They go to Riddle. Starts right. Hesitates. Back up the middle he goes. 4th down coming up for Potosi as he's 4 yards shy of a first down. Another 8-yard carry for Blaine.
I tell you what, Blaine Riddle once again, he's taking a heavy load here, but getting positive yards almost every time he touches the ball.
But unable to get out of bounds, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. Potosi was content to just send it to halftime. They want to see if they can get Austin Cooley rested up, get some fluids back in, and then maybe we'll see him play in the second half. We certainly hope so. We've played to a stalemate in this first half. It's a 12-12 tie in Potosi between Potosi and Carnahan. Well, Williams is going to get a running start and squib this one, and they'll try to keep it away from Cooley, but it bounces to Cooley back at the 15-yard line. He tries the near side and has a burst across the 30-yard line. Up the sideline, he goes to the 40. Wants to cut back inside and gets pushed out of bounds right at midfield. There's Austin Cooley. Welcome back to the football game. It's a return of 35 yards on the opening kickoff of the second half back to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, that was a good return. Looked like he had some fresh legs there, ready to show what he can do, and got a good return for the Trojans.
If you're watching J98 Web TV, Potosi working left to right, Carnahan defending from right to left. J98 Web TV is at mymoinfo.com. And each week throughout the regular season, just about every week, we will have a Web TV exclusive game on Friday nights, mymoinfo.com. That will be strictly dedicated to J98 Web TV. We have a play-by-play man in Greg Armbruster who does a great job in calling those games, so check it out every Friday night. This is a special edition here with the broadcast on J98 The Boot for Saturday Night Football. Ball at the 50-yard line, 1st and 10 for Potosi in a tie game. 11:50 left to play in the third quarter. Huerta takes the snap, hands it off to Blaine Riddle, and Riddle carries across the 50 to the 48, maybe the 47. A gain of 3 yards for Blaine Riddle on carry number 21.
And you got to think Carnahan went into halftime with the telling the defense, look out for Blaine Riddle. He's taken the majority of the plays here for Potosi, and looks like we might have another timeout coming.
Well, this just wouldn't be a Saturday night football broadcast, Carnahan versus Potosi, if we didn't see another timeout or a delay on the field. We got to get all these in. We got to make sure we get about 17 of these per quarter because we don't want to get out of here before midnight. That's the last thing you want to have happen. So, got to love week one. I love everything about week one except what we're seeing here tonight.
Exactly right.
2nd down and 6 is what they'll call it from the 46-yard line. Potosi on offense to start quarter number 3. 11:26 on the clock. Split back set with Cooley back there along with Riddle. Riddle's going to get the carry, and he's going to try to follow Cooley for a good gain along the right side, but a linebacker got past Cooley and tripped up Riddle.
Yeah, just one of those plays where too many things going on at the same time and tripped him up. Looked like he might have had a hole if he could have stayed on his feet there.
No gain on the carry by Blaine. 115 yards on 22 carries tonight. Blaine Riddle, 3rd down and 6. So with Cooley back in the game, it could be a good time to drop a play action on this Carnahan defense and try to get him in the open field. But Cooley's going to remain in the backfield in a split back set. Riddle split back left. Cooley split back right. 2 receivers, 1 to either side of the formation. The handoff comes near side. Spin move and a tackle made. Good job by the Carnahan defensive front to stop that before it can get off the ground. There was also a flag and a hold on Potosi. And could be declined, but then again, Potosi's in a situation where they'll probably go for it on 4th down at about 6. So maybe we'll see Carnahan accept this penalty. Offensive line of the Potosi Trojans a little bit guilty there of grabbing on and dragging their defender in the wrong fashion. It will be declined. So this will be interesting. Second penalty Potosi has had tonight that's been declined by Carnahan. Potosi is in Carnahan territory. Not by much, though. Ball at the 46 and a 4th down and 6 yards to go.
And it looks like Potosi's going to go for it here on fourth down. Nope.
Now the
Maybe
personnel
not.
changes. And it's possible Coach Scott changed his mind because now they're backing up Potosi. I think Coach Scott rethought that idea and said, okay, if they're going to show me that they're going to go for it, we're going to go ahead and accept the penalty. I didn't know you could do that after the fact, though.
I'm not sure the ruling on it, but I know the umpire, the white hat, will ask a player first,
Okay.
and then sometimes the coach will
Coach has kind of
overrule his player's
ultimate
decision.
authority
so.
there. Well, and the coach would know. He would have a better idea of the
Right.
situation there, certainly. So the penalty was accepted. It ends up being a 10-yard penalty, and now rather than 4th and 6, it's 3rd down and 16. 3 penalties for 30 yards tonight against the Potosi Trojans. It does give them another chance, and now Huerta's going to drop back to pass. He fires a bomb down the right sideline, hits Cooley in stride. 30, 20, 10. Pay dirt, Austin Cooley. 43 yards and a score.
Yeah, you can see right there with Austin Cooley back in the game what kind of weapons and strategy that Coach Casey can deploy at his disposal, hitting Cooley on a big bomb and a good throw by Huerta there.
Austin Cooley comes back into the game immediately, gets a 35-yard kickoff return, and then gets a 43-yard touchdown pass reception. And I guess Carnahan should have declined that penalty.
Yeah, I think when they did decline it, Coach Casey was going to punt, but when they accepted it, he said, might as well go for it, and worked out for him in one play.
Yeah, because it was 3rd downs because of the accepted penalty, and, it forced him to drop that bomb. And Austin Cooley's been known to reel in a few of those deep touchdown passes. That's his 2nd touchdown reception of the night. Now for the extra point. He missed one wide left earlier. This one, though, is straight through on a low line drive. Gabe Smith knocks it through, and Potosi Trojans lead 19-12 with 10:08 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Cooley making a difference in the 2nd half. We're going to come back in 1 minute on J98 The Boot.
Hello, neighbor. Come on in. All the girls are oohing and eyeing over your new flooring in granite. May I look? I want to ooh and ah too. New hardwood, carpet, tile, granite countertops. Tell me your secret. You struck oil. Magic words. Tell me your magic words for beautiful flooring in granite. I want the oohs and ahs too.
Buzenbark.
Buzenbark?
Buzenbark flooring and granite was the clear choice for me. Buzenbark guarantees and warranties their first quality flooring, granite, and trademark installation service, and has for over 70 years. You want to know the best part?
Ooh, it gets better?
Buzenbark has the best bargains with savings up to 50%.
Ah.
Buzenbark's huge warehouses are oozing with truckloads of first quality bargains, priced to match any budget.
Ooh.
So when it comes to new flooring in granite, repeat these magic words and get the oohs and ahs just like me.
I will.
There's no place like Buzenbark.
There's no place like Buzenbark.
There's no place like Buzenbark.
There's no place like
Buzenbark Flooring and Granite, serving St. Louis and Central Missouri every day. Highway 67 North, Farmington.
Coach Scott would decline the penalty, and it led to a 43-yard touchdown pass from Jordan Huerta to Austin Cooley. Now in the ensuing kickoff, Fultz gets blown up at the 23-yard line for another Crown Collision, brought to you by Crown Collision Center. Another big special teams play. Didn't see who made the hit, but whoever it was, he's going to be filmed a little bit later on tonight. That was a big one.
Yeah, that was the host of Trojans down there. And you can kind of tell just by the body language now after that one big play for the Trojans. Body language is a lot more energetic and ready to get after it now. You can tell.
It's amazing to see what Cooley adds to this offense as we get another timeout down on the field. Potosi's going to be. They took a knee on the field, but now they're going to be sent to the sideline. Carnahan will be asked to do the same. But while they're doing this, Garrett, it's amazing what Cooley adds to this offense. You saw they were one-dimensional when it was just Riddle. Still got the job done, still got in for the end zone. It took them a while. But now you add that extra element where you can drop play action, or you can just drop straight back and throw it deep. Chances are Cooley's going to win a one-on-one battle. And now you have multiple levels that you can throw at a defense, and those two are going to be a dynamic tandem.
And you're exactly right. You can see, when Austin Cooley's not on the field, Blaine Riddle's pretty much your offense. When he is on the field, now you've got two guys to worry about. You got a 1-2 punch in Riddle and Cooley, and you could see too with the way that Cooley lines up in the offense. Sometimes he might be in the backfield, and sometimes he might be spread out to where he's an option in the passing game too. So very versatile and very effective offense that the Trojans are working with.
Carnahan starts at their own 24-yard line. That last drive for Potosi went 50 yards, and it was a big drive in the game brought to you by ProCare Automotive in Bonne Terre. The touchdown was a 43-yard strike from Huerta to Cooley. So now Carnahan on offense, 1st and 10 at the 24 in a game that's brought to you by Boyer Lumber Company, Realty Professionals, and Potosi Basements and Foundation, all in Potosi. One receiver right, trips to the left, shotgun. A snap comes to Cooper. Cooper lost the handle of the football in the exchange with the running back. Potosi falls on it. Turnover number 3. Trojans get it back in Carnahan territory.
Yeah, just another miscommunication. It looked like the quarterback tried to hold the ball in on the fake a little too long. The runner kind of pulled away from it, snapped the ball up in the air, and recovered by the Potosi Trojans.
I heard Waylon DeClue's name mentioned over the loudspeaker. Not sure if he was the one who forced the fumble or landed on the ball once it hit the turf, but that ball squirted right out of there. We've seen that on a couple of different occasions tonight. That was the first time for Carnahan we'd seen it on the exchange with quarterback to running back, but Potosi had that happen to him earlier too.
Yep. And another opportunity for Potosi to tack on some more points on the board here.
29-yard line is where Potosi is going to start this drive with 9:57 left to go in the third quarter. Trojans already on top, 19-12. Moments ago, they just took their first lead of this game. Now they want to expound on that. One receiver left, one receiver right. I formation set. There's the handoff to the right side. This goes to Blaine Riddle. All kinds of running room to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and then ridden out of bounds somewhere around that 5-yard line. They might have spotted him short at the 6. But that offensive line just blew that wide open. He had running room for miles and miles, Blaine Riddle did.
Yeah, and there's that 1-2 punch again. You know, you try to cue on one guy, either Cooley or Riddle. The other guy's going to come up, sneak up, and make you pay. And like you said, good blocking on the outside. I couldn't see what number it was, but a wide receiver laid a very good block on a cornerback here to break Riddle open.
Would have been Thompson, most likely, for Potosi on that side of the formation. It was a 23-yard run by Riddle. He has 138 now on the night. 1st and goal officially from the 7. Thompson is the receiver to the right. One receiver to the left. I formation set again. Riddle is the deep back. They'll hand it to him again. Douglas, the fullback, makes a nice block, but then he's undercut at the 5-yard line for a gain of about 2 yards. Blaine Riddle is. He's up to 140 yards rushing.
Potosi just trying to scratch and nail and get this ball punched into the end zone with a lot of Blake Riddle, and looks like Cooley are splitting out to the far side of the field.
Portell checks back into the ball game. It looks like Riddle's going to get a breather. Portell does have one carry in the game. Jared does. It went for 6 yards in the first half. Chandler Franklin in the game as well. Jordan Huerta came to the sideline to get the play call from Coach Casey. I'll tell you whether or not Cooley is in on this formation once they break the huddle.
They're going to have to hustle to get this play off.
Cooley is wide left. 2 seconds on the play clock. Down to 1. They do get the snap off in time. They hand off to Portell and a wide open hole. He's in for a touchdown. Portell with the 4-yard run. You could have driven a truck through that hole, and Portell takes the spot of Blaine Riddle for one play and gets in for 6.
Yeah, I think Blaine's had some trouble with his helmet staying on, and it popped off again. He had to come off, and Portell said, "I'll take the touchdown this time, Blaine."
He kind of snaked one right there because I'm telling you, I'm not fast or even athletic, and I could have scored on that play.
Yeah, he did have a huge hole. Credit to the offensive line for making it possible.
Good job not tripping over the 4-yard line, though. A good touchdown run. And it makes it 25-12. Potosi Trojans starting to look really dominant along that offensive front and with their running backs right now. And now that Carnahan has to worry about some kind of a passing game, it's really helped out Potosi. Late substitution onto the field here on the extra point, but still plenty of time. 15 seconds on the play clock for the kicker, Gabe Smith, to try to knock this one through. It's a low-line drive kick, but it looks straight through, and it is. That'll make it 26-12. Potosi's opened up a 2-score lead thanks to another Carnahan mistake that set them up at the 29-yard line. Jared Portell with the touchdown to make it a 14-point advantage. 8:56 left to go, third quarter. We're back in a minute on J98 The Boot.
Hey sports fans, this is Bill Best, your American Family Insurance agent, serving the Parkland area for 30 years. Yes, that's right, 30 years this year. We have our team in place for a new season with seasoned veterans Teresa Buxton and Connie Agnew, and new recruit Nick Agnew. We have built our reputation on honesty, great service, and great products from American Family Insurance Company. We have the big plays ready for our customers with homeowners, auto, business, and life insurance products. Join the winning team. Call Bill Best in Park Hills today. We're proud to sponsor high school sports.
Unlimited Auto Body in Potosi does collision repair on all types of vehicles and custom graphics on motorcycles and boats. So whether it's a fender bender or a major repair, your vehicle will receive personal attention that guarantees it will come back looking like new. Mick Schlosser, owner of Unlimited Auto Body, wants you to know that you have the right to choose which body shop repairs your vehicle, not your insurance company. So let their work speak for itself. Choose Unlimited Auto Body located on North Missouri Street in Potosi because you do have a choice.
Cooley will kick off on a low-line drive squib attempt here for the Potosi Trojans. It's picked up by an up man and returned 8 yards to the 37-yard line for the Carnahan Cougars. They find themselves in a position that they haven't been in yet in this game, down by 2 scores. Just moments ago, this game was tied. That was with 10-10 left to go in the third quarter before Potosi scored on the touchdown pass to Cooley. Moments later, with 8:56 left, it was Portell with a 4-yard touchdown run to open it up and make it a 2-score game.
And you can tell with Austin Cooley back in the offensive flow how much he means to that side of the football. We had a 12-12 stalemate for almost felt like 2 hours in the first half, and now Cooley back in the second half. It's a 26-12 ball game.
Carnahan starts at their own 37-yard line, 8:50 left to go. That return was by Quanzel Watkins, who is a freshman running back. Shotgun snap and a nice throw over the middle. Not the greatest decision, though, by the quarterback. The ball was almost intercepted in the secondary by Portell, I believe it was, back there, dropping back in coverage. Incomplete pass. Now, when I said nice throw, it was a nice kind of laser beam spiral, but he threw it into a crowd.
Yeah, he did, and that was almost the exact same play that got tipped into a Carnahan player's hands for a touchdown early in the first quarter. That time the ball was swatted down to the turf, just like Coach teaches.
Well, you're going to be real surprised when I tell you this, that we do see a flag in the backfield. And it's going to be a roughing the passer penalty against the Potosi Trojans. So that actually goes against the defense, 15-yard penalty, and it's going to give a first down back to the Carnahan Cougars. First 15-yard penalty we've seen against Potosi tonight. They now have 4 penalties for 45 yards. So Carnahan gets a break there on that late hit. 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. Still on Carnahan's side of the field. Trying to break into Potosi territory. Trips will be ran to the left, twins to the right, and an empty backfield for the quarterback, Cooper. This freshman's going to be good pretty soon, I do believe. An out route underneath is incomplete. Good job by the defensive back, Jake Coleman, coming up and putting pressure on the receiver. If he was going to haul that in, he was going to take a big hit.
Yeah, he was. Just slightly overthrown, and a good defense there. He was right there to attest the throw and would have made a great tackle had he caught it.
2nd down and 10 from the 47-yard line. We come your way tonight courtesy of Walmart Supercenter in Potosi, B&S Small Engines in Potosi, Potosi Chiropractic, Washington County Aggregates, and JV Contracting of Potosi. 2nd down and 10. The Trojans enjoying a 2-score lead over Carnahan, now 26-12. Remember, Potosi lost on the road by 11 points last year in Week 1. Carnahan went on to have a 9-3 football campaign. Lost a lot of talent from that team, but you can tell they've got a lot of raw talent in this team as well. Another throw over the middle. This one was a perfect pass, but it is dropped by Jalon Moore. Seam route right down the middle of the field, and Moore should have caught that one, although he was probably going to take a hit. He dropped it.
Right, and with this quarterback for Carnahan, Michael Cooper, for a freshman, he's looked really good tonight.
First quarter, I didn't know, but now he's showing a lot of poise in the pocket when it breaks down around him. He's scrambling and making positive plays. He has done a good job,
right.
And that's why I said I think he's going to develop into a pretty darn good football player.
Yes, I think you're right.
But now he's facing a 3rd down and 10, and now you're in a situation, if you're Carnahan, you're on the road, and now the crowd's getting into it because they kind of smell blood in the water at this point. Twins to the right, trips to the left, empty backfield for the quarterback, Michael Cooper. The freshman quarterback takes the snap, drops straight back. He's going to drop the bomb down the middle of the field. Has a man there. Williams adjusts to the football, goes up and grabs it inside the 20, 1st down, and Carnahan's got something going.
That was just a good downfield pass and good job by the receiver not overrunning that ball. Kind of hung up there. And the thing with those kind of passes, sometimes the ball hangs up too long where the defense is running past and can't make time to adjust and get back to the ball where the wide receiver is standing.
35-yard pass and catch from Michael Cooper to Eric Williams, and a 1st down and 10 now from the 17-yard line, and that was a huge 3rd down conversion. I'd like to see a little bit more of that from Carnahan. They've looked good when they've gone empty backfield. Now they'll have a lone setback back there. That's going to be Cooper. Twins to the right, twins to the left. Man comes in motion. They give the ball to Cooper. Cooper goes up the middle, and he can't score through the defensive line of Potosi. Not much, if anything, on the carry. Right back through the box there.
Yeah, Coach Casey wants to see his defense make a good stand here. He's giving up some big yards in the passing game, but got to buckle down the hatches, and make tackles in the open field and give yourself a chance to flip the ball over on a turnover on downs.
I said Cooper on the carry. It was actually Curtis Phillips, number 30. Cooper's the quarterback, and the back there was Curtis Phillips. So Cooper is the quarterback. Phillips remains the lone setback. Twins to the right, twins to the left. There's the man in motion again. They run the play-action pass. They fire the slant for Williams. He holds on this time, stretches for the end zone. Late call, but he's in for the score. 17 yards. Williams on the catch, and he had both huge grabs on that drive to get in for 6.
Yeah, another good play through the air for Carnahan. This Cooper kid's really coming into his own here in the third quarter. I think Coach is kind of relying on his arm, and like you said, he's going to be good in the next couple of years, being only a freshman.
Second touchdown pass of the night by Cooper. Williams gets his first touchdown reception. He also has an interception return for a touchdown tonight. And we'll have a timeout, Carnahan, before the extra point. 26-18 is the score. Remember, Carnahan hasn't really had much of a kicking game tonight. They've gone for 2 every single time. And this is an important one here. If you don't get some kind of PAT, you're still down by 2 scores.
Right. They're going to need to punch this one in if they want to come into a one-score game.
Well, still a 1-score game with the 2-point conversion,
right.
but you're more typical, 2-score or 1-score game. You'd like to have an extra point here, so we'll see what happens. But I think that series, and not to take anything away from Carnahan, but I think Potosi, it seemed to me like they got a 2-score lead. Maybe they relaxed a little bit on defense and kind of came back and bit them a little bit.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's when you got to buckle down even more. After two big series, actually, 2 big scoring drives, you really got to buckle down and stop a team quick to hopefully put doubt in their mind. And this is going to be a big conversion right here for 2 points. Potosi's going to have to come up with a stop here.
57-yard drive, big drive in the game, brought to you by ProCare Automotive and Bonne Terre. Makes it 26-18. Carnahan called timeout to talk about what they're going to do on the PAT. Probably going to see him go for 2. That's what they've been showing so far tonight, but let's see what they break the huddle with and come out on the field. Looks like it's the offense. Cooper, the quarterback. Phillips is the running back. It's going to be set up in a pistol. One receiver left is Williams. Another receiver out to the right. There's the snap. They hand it off to Phillips running to the right side. Potosi denies it. A loss of 4 yards, and Zach Drennan, again, as he's been doing all night, leads the charge on that play, and it stays an 8-point game at 26-18. 7:31 left to go in the third quarter. Potosi by 8. They'll get the ball back when we come back in a minute on J98 The Booth.
1, 2, 3, 4, 24, 44.
Clarissa, what are you doing now? Glad to see you know how to count anyway.
I do, but apparently you don't. Have you seen how large the inventory is on new and pre-owned equipment? We barely have room for it all.
Well, you told me to stock up, and I've been taking in so many trades. Well, it just adds up. Fast, almost as fast as I can fly. More man.
Jason, all I know is you better be prepared to make some deals for our customers. I want space in the showroom and on the lot. You better start wheeling and dealing, big guy, or I'm going to start making up my own prices. The queen and the green will take a whole new meaning. The green I'll save our customers will be nothing you've ever imagined, Mouse. Now move.
Fleece Equipment, save some green and save me. More man. Fleece Equipment, Highway 32 in St. Genevieve. Online at fleegs.com.
Fleegs Equipment. Let our family serve your family.
This is Mark Casey, head coach of the Potosi Trojans, and you're listening to high school football on J98.
It's a 1-score game again, although it's a 2-point conversion that would be needed for Carnahan to tie things up. They just got back to within 8, 26-18, thanks to a 17-yard pass to Williams. The kickoff is bobbled by the Potosi returner, far side of the field. He's able to get it back and try near side. It's Portell, and he's wrapped up and brought down hard. Then a flag came out as well, and could be on the way that he was tackled that the flag comes in, but we'll see.
Got all sorts of flags flying now.
Do you feel like this might be multiple infractions here?
I think we might see that, yep.
We also see a Carnahan player down in the field kind of trying to stretch out a potential cramp in a hamstring. We'll get all this sorted out and thank the rest of our sponsors. They are Potosi R3 Schools and a limited auto body in Potosi tonight. We've had a good game. It's been sloppy at times, but I think, Garrett, the second half has been much cleaner than we saw in the first half.
Yeah, it has, and you can tell coaches went over stuff in the locker room at halftime, and just getting that first half of football out of the way, week one. A hot night, get guys regrouped, and you're right, it has been a lot smoother. Offenses are starting to click now, and defenses are holding strong.
Well, while they work on the injured player and also get the flag situation sorted out, we'll take a break. I can tell you, though, that Portell returned the ball to about the 25-yard line, but who knows where it's going to be spotted after the penalty. In fact, it looks like it might be inside the 15. We have a penalty on both sides, and they're going to offset, it looks like. We'll tell you more, though, when we come back. It's 7:22 left to go third quarter, 26-18 Potosi. We're back in a minute on the boot.
Do you need dirt work? Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling is the name to remember if your job requires a high-lift, dozer, backhoe, bobcat, dump truck, excavation, or hauling. Matt Stroud and his crew can get the job done right. Matt Stroud Excavation and Hauling covers St. Francis and surrounding counties, so give them a call at 573-756-2808 or 701-3258. That's Matt Stroud Excavating when you need work done.
When you need a muffler, remember the name, Moyer's Muffler and Auto in Park Hills. When you need inspections, oil changes, brakes, and complete exhaust, remember, Moyer's Muffler and Auto. When you need new tires, AC work, water pumps, starters, belts, and much more, you guessed it, Moyer's Muffler and Auto, 502 East Main Street in Park Hills, 431-5428. That's Moyer's Muffler and Auto in Park Hills, 431-5428.
Ended up being 3 penalties on the play. The first 2 penalties offset with each other, but the third was a block in the back. So that means Potosi has to start at their own 12-yard line, or actually their own 7-yard line, rather than the 25 or thereabouts where we first thought. So Potosi committed 2 penalties on the play, and the block in the back hurts them. They start this drive backed up inside their 10. Blaine Riddle's going to get a carry, starts to the near side, then cuts back middle. He's across the 10-yard line for about the 12 and a gain of 5 yards for Blaine Riddle there. Potosi's penalties are now starting to tack up in this game.
Yeah, and you can tell Potosi's trying to punch it out of their own red zone, get it into open field so they can open up the playbook a little bit more.
That was already carry number 25 tonight for Blaine Riddle. It was a 5-yard variety, 145 yards rushing on 25 carries tonight. Blaine has been the workhorse. His team has an 8-point lead at 26-18, 6:45 left to go. Third quarter action from the new turf field here at Potosi. I formation set. Huerta lost the handle of the football on the snap. Fights for it, and looks like Potosi's able to get it back. Near disaster there for the Trojans. You don't want to lose the football this deep in your own territory.
No, that would have been a disaster for him, giving Carnahan another chance to score a touchdown and come close within the lead.
Now, he didn't lose the football, but he did lose 3 yards. It's going to be third down. About 8 yards to go back inside the 10-yard line. I've seen Potosi. In fact, it was on this very field last year. They threw a 99-yard touchdown pass to Gavin Wright last season. It was Aaron Vincent to Gavin Wright. Jordan Huerta to Austin Cooley. Maybe we'll see a 90-yard touchdown pass on this play. Well, the entire Carnahan defense comes across here. Were they drawn off sides, or did they come off on their own? It's going to be 5 yards on somebody. We'll get it straightened out again. Another stoppage of play. Offsides on the defense, 5 yards. That'll make it a little bit easier, make it third down and about 2 to 3 yards here for Potosi. And there's a big difference between 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3.
And that's kind of what we saw last night in the Central Sullivan game, that hard count to get the defense to draw them off sides. And it works for Potosi in that instance.
10th penalty for 65 yards on Carnahan. Potosi with a 3rd down and 2. There's the snap. There's the handoff. Riddle, he's pretty much automatic for a couple of yards, and he should have what he needs for a first down, trying the near side up to the 20-yard line. It's a 5-yard carry. Move the chains, Potosi Trojans.
Another good run by Riddle there on the right side here, the near sideline, getting them enough for the first down. And once again, Blaine Riddle keeps racking up the carries.
First down and 10 with 5:47 left to go, third quarter. Potosi holding on to a one-score lead. They trailed for most of the first half, ended up tying the game a little bit before halftime, 12-12. Then it was two straight scores by Potosi out of the break to make it 26-12. Carnahan answered on their last possession on a 17-yard pass. Looks like another Sullivan, or I keep wanting to say Sullivan because we called Sullivan last night. Another Carnahan defender comes across. And if he wasn't drawn off, it's going to be another 5 yards against the Cougars. Jumping off sides on the defense was Chris Perkins, the senior linebacker. And it is on Carnahan.
And as you can see, Glenn, the mistakes keep piling up for the Cougars, giving Potosi every opportunity to drive the football again.
Penalty number 11 for 70 yards, and my stat sheet only has room for 10 penalties. That kind of tells you how bad the penalty situation's been for Carnahan tonight. First down and 5 now from the 25 for Potosi. So Carnahan pretty well has given Potosi 70 yards tonight. You throw in the fact that they've turned the ball over 3 times, and Potosi's been the beneficiary in a big way. But on the flip side, Potosi's done some things that's really helped Carnahan out tonight as well. So kind of evens out.
Yep, and you can tell by the score, too, with all the penalties that's taken place. Usually you might see a more lopsided score, but right now both teams, it could go either way.
You can tell by the time that's left on the clock, too, that we've had a lot of penalties tonight. Here we are approaching 10 o'clock. Well, Jordan Huerta's going to drop back to pass. He's hit as he throws. He throws up a wobbler, and the ball is caught, taken out of the air by Austin Cooley in double coverage just beyond the 40-yard line in Carnahan territory. What a grab by Austin Cooley.
I tell you what, that's an athletic football play right there by Austin Cooley. That ball could have went either way. A defender was right there, and Austin Cooley jumps up and says, I'll take that.
33 yards on the reception from Huerta to Cooley, and that's been the only combination tonight for Potosi, Huerta to Cooley. Nobody else has really done a whole lot, but Cooley's up close to 150 yards receiving now on the night. First down and 10 from the 41-yard line of Carnahan. He was blasted. That linebacker from the outside came through and just hit the blind side of Huerta, but pretty much all you got to do is throw it up with Austin Cooley around.
Yeah, you're right. You're a big athletic guy like that. It makes it easy to throw the ball up to him and let him go to work.
That throw coming near sideline. I formation set. Huerta turns around, hands it off to Blaine Riddle, shakes one tackle. Then he has a convoy out in front of him. Cuts back middle of the field, and he's up to the 45-yard line before he's hit from behind down at the 34. Or 34, 7-yard carry.
I tell you, that's just another good run. He had nothing going to the outside. Looked back, you could see his head swivel, looked to the inside, saw a hole, hit it, got at least 4 or 5 extra yards out of that play. Yep. Good run.
Call it the 33-yard line, and Potosi continuing to mix up Blaine Riddle and Austin Cooley in this game. I mean, pretty well they've been it for the Trojans, and to their credit, it's all they've really needed on offense. So.
Right, that's that 1-2 punch. You're gonna hear that an awful lot, I would imagine, throughout the year.
Second down and a short 3 or a long 2. Stoppage of play, though. Potosi wants to call timeout before this play gets started. That'll be the first timeout called by Potosi. Each team has 2 left. 3:32 left to go third quarter. Second down and call it 2 for the Trojans in Carnahan territory after the big catch by Austin Cooley on that last play went 33 yards. 3:32 left in a 26-18 game, third quarter. We're back in 30 seconds on J98 The Boot.
West Transportation Service in Bismarck is your local charter bus service. They can take you to your destination wherever you're going. At West Transportation Service, they care about their cargo. So rest assured that when you ride with them, you'll be provided with the best traveling experience ever. West Transportation Service, the best charter bus service around. That's West Transportation Service in Bismarck, a proud supporter of all community events. For service, call 734-2332.
Well, if you would have asked me last night, Garrett, I would have told you Braden Mannion might be the best receiver we're going to see this season with respect to Austin Cooley. Cooley might have been listening last night. I don't know. Maybe he was there, but he's come out and he's balled out tonight, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. He's very, very impressive night. Even with not even being on the field for almost a quarter, he's definitely made his impact known. And I tell you what, right now, Braden Mannion was good last night, but so was Cooley tonight.
Braden Mannion had over 200 yards receiving last night. 216 is what I had him for. Cooley right now on just 3 catches, mind you, 145 yards receiving.
Impressive.
Second down and 2 for Potosi. One receiver left is Cooley. One receiver right is Thompson. I formation set. Douglas the fullback. Riddle the deep back. Carnahan nearly comes across with their middle linebacker showing blitz. A little hard cadence by Huerta, almost got him to jump. Huerta takes this snap, and he'll hand it off to the right side. Riddle bouncing around in the backfield, and he's going to be stood up and pushed backwards. Oh, a big hit to come on the end of that by Phillips. Oh, a flag's going to fly on this. Oh, I don't know about that. It looked pretty clean to me.
I think he's going to get a flag for celebration, it looked like.
Well, it's either that or they'll say he launched. Now, Riddle lost yards on the play, but if this is a personal foul, a Ray saw that, it's going to be a first down. But Phillips sure laid the lumber, and, you know, I'm kind of old school in this way. If I see a big hit, I'm going to celebrate it, and you know, I love those big hits, but now we've gotten so safety-minded, and I guess that's a good thing. It's just, it takes some of the fun away from football, and this penalty is going to go certainly against Carnahan. But Riddle, that was the biggest hit we've seen of the night. Zach Drennan made a good hit that forced a fumble earlier. I'd say that one topped it. Unfortunately, it's going to be a big penalty.
Yeah, I'm with you. I find that call a little hard to agree with too. Looked like the kid from Carnahan made a nice clean tackle. It just looked violent, but at the end of the day, it's a football game. It's a violent sport.
That's exactly right. That was going to be my point as well. Curtis Phillips, I feel for you, young man. That was a heck of a play. But now they're making matters worse. It looks like another flag has been thrown as Carnahan continues to argue. Is that what you saw? Look like
I'm not sure. It looked like two flags were laying the whole time. I'm not sure who's.
Well, they continue to march the ball into Carnahan territory here. It was initial penalty was a personal foul on Carnahan, and the second flag came in.
Somebody get ejected?
Is the official escorting Williams off the field right now?
That might be what's happening.
And it was Phillips who had made the hit, and Phillips isn't the one who's being kind of escorted out of this game. Looks like Williams is the one, and Williams has been a huge factor in this game. You'd hate to lose him. Looks like he's the one who got kind of taken off, so it looks like he must have said something to an official, unsportsmanlike, that the official didn't kind of set with there.
Yeah, that's what it kind of looked like, and you know, you hope the game kind of stays under control, and hope the officials can keep everybody calmed down and just play a clean football game. And that's what kind of happens, you know, when you see it in the NFL all the time. When somebody you think, you know, watching at home, maybe you see makes a good hit and gets a penalty, it's upsetting. As long as you've played the game and seen the game, that you know, a good clean hit can be called a penalty. You kind of see guys get a little out of control sometimes.
Thing is, Carnahan just gave Potosi 30 yards. Unsportsmanlike and personal foul back-to-back on a play that initially was going to be a loss of yardage.
Right.
I mean, so 30-plus yards, really. Ball's all the way up to the 11-yard line. And while I didn't agree with the initial call of a personal foul or unnecessary roughness, you got to kind of be level-headed in what you're going to say to an official, especially if you're one of the biggest weapons that Carnahan has in Eric Williams, who's already scored a couple of big touchdowns in this game. Now Carnahan has to go the rest of this game without one of their best playmakers, and you got to be a little bit smarter than that.
Right. You got to let your coaching staff take care of the referee problems. Your job's just to play football. That's correct.
So the penalty situation has gone from bad to worse for Carnahan. 13 for 100 unofficially tonight. 13 penalties, 100 yards against them. So basically you could say all the penalties have at least cost them one touchdown.
Right.
One length of the field. One receiver left, one receiver to the right. I formation set. Cooley is the receiver to the left. There's another penalty, number 14. It's going to be offsides. And Jordan Huerta, obviously he has found something in this defense that they started jumping his snap, so he started barking a little bit louder to get him to come across, and it's worked several times.
That hard count's deadly, especially deep in the red zone. A defense is more geared up to stop you, and they kind of lose track of the football. And listening to the cadence, good job by Huerta to get him to jump offside.
35 yards of penalties on this drive alone, and Potosi's knocking on the door at the 6-yard line. First down and 5 from the 6. They can still get a first inside the 1. There's the snap from the eye. They hand off to Blaine Riddle, and Riddle has some room to run. It closes up quickly inside the 5 to the 3. He goes. It's a carry of 3 yards for Blaine Riddle.
It looks like you probably see a heavy dose of Blaine Riddle here close to the end zone. That's kind of how they scored last time with Portal going right up the middle, not being touched.
I would almost recommend a fade to Cooley. However, down here this close, and Riddle's been so good, why not just give it to him and not risk throwing that interception? Because if you let one of these guys get that pick, they could take it the other way for 6. So give it to Riddle. Why not? Riddle's the deep back here in the I formation set. Thompson wide receiver right, Cooley wide receiver left, and time is called before the play. Timeout, Carnahan. That'll be their second of the night, 26-18. Potosi trying to get in for another touchdown to take that 2-score lead back. 2:48 left to play third quarter. We'll break for 30 seconds on J98 The Boot.
Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy wants to be your healthcare partner. Hi, this is Jeremy Leach, pharmacist and owner of Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy. Not only will you receive award-winning customer service, free delivery, and medication synchronization options, but we also offer immunization services and free monthly diabetes education classes. Our in-store nurses offer free blood pressure and blood sugar checks. There are so many reasons to partner with your locally owned Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy in Deloge, Fredericktown, and Ironton. At Parkland Health Mart, we are caring for you and about you.
26-18 is our score. Kicking Country J98 The Boot. We've already seen an ejection here in this third quarter. 35 yards of penalties against Carnahan on this drive alone. Over 100 yards of penalties against Carnahan in this game. 2nd down and 2 from the 3 is what Potosi is set up with here, as they look to go in and score and break the 30-point barrier in this game. Carnahan was the last team to score at the 7:31 mark in this quarter with a 17-yard touchdown pass to Williams. Williams has been ejected from this game for arguing and maybe saying some words that we can't say on the radio due to SEC regulations, and he's gone. He's got to watch from – I don't even know if you can watch from the sideline. If you get ejected, you might have to go to the locker room.
I'm not sure.
I think you do. 2 minutes and 48 seconds on the clock as the Potosi breaks their huddle and heads back to the line. Thompson lines up as a receiver to the right side. Cooley will split to the left. Dusty Douglas will be the fullback. Blaine Riddle is the deep back. Jordan Huerta comes under center. He's looked better and better as this game's gone along. He scans the defense as he steps to the line. With 2:48 to play in the third, he takes the snap, turns around, hands off to Riddle. Riddle starts right, cuts back inside. He is driving the feet and reaching for the end zone, but he stops short of a touchdown anyway. He gets to the 2, just inside the 2, close to a first, but I'm not sure it's enough.
No, but a good run there, a good hard run. He had at least 4 defenders hanging all over him, just tried and scratch and fight to get to that end zone, just couldn't quite get there.
You're listening to high school football on KTJJ-FM, Farmington Festus, Crystal City, Potosi. It's Potosi with a 26-18 lead over Carnahan, and looking like they might get another score here. However, they're facing 3rd down and 1 from the 2. Carnahan trying to make a big goal line stop. The twin receivers will line up to the left side of the formation. Thompson in the slot. Cooley is wide. Dusty Douglas fullback, Blaine Riddle deep back. Same I formation set. There's the snap, there's the handoff. Blaine Riddle runs to the right side. Good pursuit by the defense. Blaine Riddle bottled up back at the 4-yard line for a loss of 3 yards. And it was Cordell Barrett, among others, for Carnahan coming off the edge and making the stop, forcing him inside.
Yeah, that was a good defensive stand right there by Carnahan. Looked like the same play from Potosi in the play before. Just didn't work out. But like I said, good defensive stand. We got a 4th down coming up. Looks like he lost some yardage there.
Yeah, lost 3, so 30 carries there for Blaine Riddle, 159 yards this evening.
Do you go to Austin Cooley down here close to the red zone?
I want to see. It doesn't look like they're going to change personnel for a field goal, so I think that's your best bet. I was going to suggest a possible field goal because Coach Casey said they might be mixing in some more field goal kicks this year, but not here. 4th down from the 3-yard line. They'll fire under the middle, and Huerta was throwing off his back foot. Some good pressure provided by Carnahan. He underthrew Cooley. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. That ends up being a huge stop.
Yeah, it does. A good stand by the Carnahan Cougars, and that's a tough play. A right-handed quarterback rolling out to his left on a slant pass, trying to get his shoulder square. Takes a strong arm to get that done, and just kind of spiked it right in the ground in front of Cooley.
He had a semi-tractor trailer truck running out of control right at him, and Michael Davis, a big defensive tackle, another freshman on this team, and that's what's going to impress me as well about Carnahan. Most of these players that have made impacts in this game, or a lot of them, have been freshmen. Very athletic freshmen, mind you, but freshmen nonetheless.
Yeah, look for him a couple of years to be, 2 more years of knowledge, experience, and just from what I've seen right now, they're good already. So in a couple years, look for them to be stars.
Long way to go in this game still. Can you believe it's still the third quarter? 1:07 left.
It's hard to believe. I think I've lost about 18 pounds since I've been up here. So
Broadcasting's hard work, I got to tell you. First down and 10. Oh, man. There's this yellow flag that keeps flying up in the air. And it's going to happen again. I think one of these times somebody's going to shoot that thing out of the air. Let's see what this one's on. It looks like it could be another Carnahan penalty. You know, they're taking an awful long time to get the play in. Could be another delay. And they start this drive on the 4 after the defensive stop, and it's going to be half the distance situation that puts them back at the 2-yard line. So that's just a 2-yard penalty. But it's also the 15th of the game.
We might still have some confusion. I think they're just having a hard time getting the right personnel on the field who's supposed to be in, and looks like we got it sorted out.
Carnahan has now committed 3 times as many penalties as Potosi has, and Potosi's committed 5. 15 penalties against Carnahan. 1st and 12 from their own 2-yard line. Carnahan comes under center with their quarterback and hands off to the running back, and he's blown up in the backfield for a safety. That's Zach Drennan who gets back there and makes the stop. And it was a big 4-yard loss, 2 points for the Trojans.
Yeah, good penetration right there, and you could tell the defense was amped up, getting them pinned down in their own 2. And that's kind of the kind of risky game you play, handing a ball off into the backfield. We saw that last night with a couple quarterback sneaks trying to push it out of the end zone. That way you can open up the playbook. But a good stop, actually a good safety there by the Potosi Trojans defense.
How good of a night has Zach Drennan had here? He had that big hit earlier that forced a fumble. He's played a good offensive line. They run to his side, and things have been open pretty well for him. And then that big stop that makes it a 10-point game. It's now a 2-score game on the safety by Drennan.
Yeah, he's been flying around the field, making tackles. If he's not making the tackle, he's in on it somehow. Good athletic linebacker, and got a good stop right there.
And it's another situation, and you hate to keep harping on it. I mean, this dead horse has been beaten to death and then some, but, that penalty that made it half the distance to the goal directly led to a safety there for Carnahan. If they can get some of this penalty stuff taken care of with their young team, it's obvious they're going to be very, very good, but they've shot themselves in the foot time and time again tonight.
Right, and you talk about beating the dead horse, and I keep doing it over and over. But with a young team and with it being week 1, like I've said before, you got to expect some mistakes. But
probably too many, even for week 1 tonight. Yeah,
too much has definitely happened, and I'm sure their coach will talk to them about it and hopefully try to fix it in the weeks coming. But like you said, being young, you can almost expect that.
They sure couldn't get Dusty Douglas blocked on that last play. One of the biggest defensive plays of the night tonight, forcing a safety to make it a 2-score game, 28-18. So we'll see the free kick, and it's going to be Cooper kicking off since Williams has been ejected from the game. Cooley fields it back at the 35-yard line, tries the middle of the field, cuts back outside, then inside, then outside again. Just a joystick type of a play here. Hurdles a man, and then gets blown up at the 40. And this one could be another penalty on Carnahan, and I believe it is. He led with the helmet that time. And I believe I'm going to probably agree with this call just because he led with the helmet. I think if he doesn't lead with the helmet, it's not going to be a penalty. But a lot of things happened on both sides there. The good return by Cooley, then the huge hit by, I think it was Cooper, who was the one who actually punted the football to begin with. And this game's getting a little bit chippy right now. Yeah. Coach Casey's talking to the officials saying, look, we're going to have to get something figured out right now. I don't want my kids getting hurt. I still maintain that first hit was a clean hit.
Right.
This one maybe not so much, but that first one I was okay with.
If he doesn't hurdle him there on the sideline.
Right. And
if it becomes that kind of a play.
And because when you hurdle, you leave yourself vulnerable. That's exactly right. And but I don't know if I'm going to tell my best player not to try to make an athletic play, That's a tough call.
Be fun watching on film on a Monday morning.
Well, we can go back and watch this on J98 Web TV. If you didn't see it live, go to MyMoInfo.com. Should have this game posted by early next week. And you'll see a lot of big hits tonight. You might have to fast forward through a lot of the stoppages in this game. I mean, that's the good thing about watching a game and rewind is you can kind of scroll forward for all the stoppages if you don't want to just listen to us talk about how many penalties there's been. But there's been a lot of good plays and big hits and fun stuff happening too. It's just been separated by a lot of not so fun stuff. They just motioned a penalty against Potosi there, Garrett?
They did. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on Potosi. So, interesting.
Something must have happened we didn't see up here.
We were too busy BSing and missed it. That's okay. Potosi will start at the 43-yard line. So I wonder then if they picked up the flag on the hit by Cooper.
They must have, because the flag flew right when the hit happened, so something else must have happened.
Yeah,
that we
and
didn't,
it looks like it cost Potosi 15 yards there. They're back in their own territory now. Little misdirection handoff. They fake to the fullback, give it to Riddle. Riddle comes to the near side, breaks across the 50-yard line. It's a good run to the 46. Back into Carnahan territory.
I've said it once, said it again. Another run, great run by Blaine Riddle. He almost looks like a rat caught in a maze, just dodging defenders and picking up positive yards for a first down.
11 yards on the carry. We're down to 42 seconds left to play in the third quarter. The ball's at the 46-yard line of Carnahan now. 1st and 10, Potosi. Thompson splits to the right as the wideout. Receiver out left is number 24, Dylan King this time. Chandler Franklin will line up as a tight end, and Austin Cooley not on the field right now for Potosi. There's the snap, and the handoff again goes to Blaine Riddle, and Riddle turns forward to the 41, gain of 5 yards or 4 yards with 16 seconds to go, likely going to be the end of the third quarter.
You can kind of see Potosi's offense starting to get rolling, starting to get clicking, play coming in fast, getting the play off with plenty of time, knowing what they're wanting to do and getting it executed.
How many times have you seen a big defensive play fire up an offense? I mean, that happens a lot.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and it can be the other way around too. A good drive or a big play like we've seen the Trojans pull off tonight kind of gets the defense fired up. So, and a lot of these guys play both ways. So, if they're in on something on one side of the ball, they're still going to be jacked up on the other.
Third quarter comes to an end, and the 2-hour fourth quarter sequel is coming up next in 1 minute on J98.
At Home Pools and Spas, it's never too early, too late to start thinking about installing a new pool, closing your pool, or opening your pool. Hi, I'm Jason DeClue at Home Pools and Spas. We install all year round, weather permitting. We work hard to create your at-home family vacation spots and maintain them so your family can continue to create memories to last a lifetime. We service all year round, and scheduling can be done months ahead for your closings and openings. Home Pools and Spas offers customized service plans for your convenience and savings. Even if your pool didn't come from Home Pools and Spas, we can still service it for you and would love the opportunity to show you outstanding service. You'll always find the best deal and savings with Home Pools and Spas too. There's never need to shop around, but if you do, always bring them back to Home Pools and Spas. We'll either match or beat the price on the same pool, spa, or product. Home Pools and Spas on the Outer Service Road in Leadington or online at homepoolsandspas.net.
Fourth quarter is just about to begin. 2nd down and 5 for Potosi. Ball at the 40-yard line. And Garrett, you were talking to me during the break. You're a baseball guy. You're the assistant baseball coach at Mineral Area College. And you made a funny reference. It's kind of like this game is kind of like a Major League Baseball game in the fact there's nothing, then something big happens, and then nothing. It adjust your batting gloves,
right,
fix your shoes, bend over, retire your shoes. It's just it's been a slow go tonight, but it hasn't been without some really highlight type of things happening.
Yeah, definitely. And you can understand the water breaks that needs to happen, but as far as the penalties and timeouts and stuff,
it's not just the penalties; it's the time that they're taking to figure out what's going on, and that comes down to the officials as well. And it's week 1. That's all you can say.
Week 1 for them too. That's exactly right.
They'll be in mid-season form by week 3.
There you go.
2nd down and 5 from the 40. 12 minutes on the clock for the fourth quarter. Potosi in Carnahan territory and split backs in the backfield. Actually, nope, they're lined up in the I formation, it looks like. Looks like an offset I. And then Potosi jumps off sides. The left tackle jumps this time for the Trojans. Looks like it was 68 Colby Boyer who's in there. He's one of the reserve linemen. 5-yard penalty for the Trojans. That's their 6th penalty of the night. 60 total yards and penalty yards. And that's not a great number, but it pales in comparison to what's happening on the other side of the field. It'll be 2nd and 15. Or 2nd and 10. At the 45-yard line. It was 2nd and 5 before that, and that made it 2nd down and 10. There's the handoff right side. Blaine Riddle trying to string this out to the outside. Another flag comes as he pushes across for about a 5-yard gain, closer to 6 or 7 yards on the play. But again, we have to wait and see what the officials tell us on the penalty to see what's going to happen here. By the way, I touched on some scores from earlier today. Festus lost their game 27-0 to Westminster. Northwest played earlier tonight as well, and they lost to Liberty 29-19 earlier this morning, I should say, not tonight. So Northwestern Jefferson County High School, they fall 29-19 to Liberty. Another unsportsmanlike, Garrett?
It looked like to be like it seems like soon as Riddle hurdled the guy on the far sideline, the flag came out of the referee's pocket. So it's hard to see on the far sideline what exactly took place, but right when he leaped into the air, the flag came out.
Is there some kind of penalty that I'm not aware of that they don't want you to hurdle? Because that's what happened with Cooley on the previous penalty.
Exactly right. We thought it was going to go against
Carnahan. That'll be a good question. I apologize for not knowing that, but by all indications, it's happened twice in a row, and they've been penalized twice for unsportsmanlike conduct. Another 15-yard penalty on Potosi. 2nd down and forever, and looks like a broken play up the middle here for Potosi, and they go backwards for a loss of about 2 yards. So now we're looking at 3rd down to 27 miles, and it's going to be you're going to have to reach deep in the playbook to find a play for 3rd down and almost 30. That last penalty of 15 yards made it 7 penalties for 75 yards on the Potosi Trojans. So they haven't been playing the cleanest of football tonight either, especially on these last couple of possessions. Austin Cooley is in at receiver. He's in slot left. John Thompson wide left. I formation set for Potosi. Huerta comes under center, takes the snap, runs the play action, and just shakes out of a tackle. He's going to keep it running to the left side across the 40-yard line. Shakes off another tackle, tries to cut back to the inside. Eventually is pushed out of bounds around the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3 yards. He had to run a long way to get 3 yards on that play.
Yeah, he did. He had a lot of defenders hot on his tail. I'm not sure if that was a design run or not. Looked like the receivers were out blocking, but Huerta running for his life, trying to get out of bounds here to the near sideline.
Yeah, I might have said Riddle on the play, but Huerta, the quarterback, who was the one who ran it. He has 2 carries for a negative 15 yards tonight, Huerta does. And that's going to make it 4th down and 28, and we'll certainly see a punting set here. Caleb Lawson, or rather 54 to punt for Potosi. 54 is Wes Dockery. He gets a high end-over-end kick. Oh, a big hit as the punt is fielded. Ball comes loose. Helmet comes off the punt returner. It looked like Potosi may have fallen on the football, and I don't see any flags this time, and that was a nasty hit there by the Potosi special teams player running down the field. Oh, man, that could not have felt good. The flag comes in late again here. Well, it certainly didn't look good, and I could understand if you throw a flag on that one.
I think the flag might be another unnecessary sportsmanlike.
Oh man, we're seeing some hits tonight.
That was a hit, and then I've seen that a couple times where the guy snapping the ball is untouched running down the field, so it kind of gives him a free shot at whoever's receiving.
Looked like they called interference on Potosi, didn't give him a chance to make a catch on the football, hitting him before the ball was caught. It was close as far as that goes. I don't know about the timing of it, but the hit was vicious. I mean,
yes, it was.
We've seen 2 really big hits tonight, maybe 3. I'd say that was the biggest of all of them. That'll be another 15 yards on the Trojans because of the interference to field a punt. And it's going to delay this game even further with 10:17 left to go. 28-18 is Potosi's lead, 4th quarter. Let's give these officials some time to clear it up. We're going to come back in 1 minute. You're listening to High School Football on J98.
This is Bobby Moyer, General Manager at Crown Chevrolet in Marble Hill. At Crown Chevrolet, our sales department prides itself on customer satisfaction. Our sole purpose is to exceed your expectations from test drive to delivery and to ensure you that the vehicle you drive away in is the perfect one for you. I invite you all to come visit our dealership, test drive the best cars on the market, and see why Crown Chevrolet in Marble Hill is proud to be the dealership where customers bring their friends.
Crown Chevrolet, an American Revolution.
If you're thinking about building, remodeling, or have a project in your future, visit your local County Do-It Center in St. Genevieve and Bloomsdale. You'll find everything needed for the do-it-yourselfer or the professional contractor. From start to finish, they'll have the supplies you want and the experience and information you need. And the Do-It-Best quality paint and primer line is one of the fastest growing private brands in the industry. Their Best Look paint and primer paints carry a full lifetime warranty, so you know they'll stand the test of time beautifully. County Do-It Center, lumber, hardware, and Do-It-Best quality paint. Stop by today.
After they march off the penalty yardage against Potosi, Carnahan starts at the 44-yard line on their own side of the field, and they'll fire the little swing pass out to the receiver near side. They get more in open field. Then he changes directions, goes to the far side of the field, gets an open space. He's hunting for 6. He's to the 10, to the 5, and just tripped up. Blaine Riddle, the safety, runs him down on the far side of the field and saves a touchdown at about the 6-yard line.
Yeah, that was a pass play to the near side, and he ran it all the way back across the field to the far sideline and just got it tripped up on the far sideline over there.
That was a 50-yard pass and catch from Cooper to Jelon Moore, 95 yards receiving. I'm going to clear something up here from earlier, and we're going to credit your dad on this one. He sent you a text about the high school football rule we weren't quite clear on. Apparently it is a penalty to hurdle an opposing player while running the football. So those were the 2 penalties of unsportsmanlike on Potosi earlier tonight. Yep.
Thanks, Dad. Appreciate it.
I knew I recruited you here for a reason.
There
So
you go.
Very good. Looks like we have maybe an injury on the field. Potosi has taken a knee in the end zone. Yeah, it looks like back at the 43-yard line we have a hurt player down. Carnahan's going to have the ball at the 5-yard line after that 51-yard pass and catch from Cooper to Moore. 10:05 left to go in the fourth quarter, and we'll hope our injured player is okay. Let's step away for another minute. You're listening to High School Football on J98.
Did you know that Earth Mother Health Foods, LLC, is owned and operated by our family for 24 years here in Farmington? This is Mary Lee. I would like to thank all of our customers for allowing myself and our well-informed staff to help you live a healthier life the natural way. We have expanded to now 4,000 square feet to include V-Tree Originals, custom tie-dye and art by our daughter, Vicki the Artist. That's Earth Mother Health Foods in downtown Farmington.
The new generation, Hoods Discount Home Center.
Hood's Discount Home Center's August Summer Sizzle Sale is the place to find what you need for your home at a fraction of the price. Hurry in this month for pedestal sink combos, including sink and faucet. Regular price of $89.99, on sale for $49.99. Plus, check out 25% off all home decorator vanities. It's all good at Hood's Discount Home Center, Highway 67 South, Farmington.
Well, the injured player was Gary Johnson of Carnahan. He got off the field under his own power relatively easily. And in fact, as he was coming off, he fired up his crowd, kind of telling him to raise the roof off of this place as he was coming off. And what we saw there for Potosi, now no penalty was called, but it looked like one of those Potosi defenders laid a pretty good hit on a player who was well away from the football right there. So this game has certainly got chippy toward the end here.
Yeah, and I think, as a lot of penalties start flying, a lot of flags, it kind of gets frustrating for the young men out there, and they start to lose their cool. So hopefully the officials can calm it down a little bit and play good, clean football for the rest of this 10 minutes here in the fourth quarter. You
can cut the tension with a knife here in Potosi. Now the Trojans are trying to get their crowd riled up. First and goal from the 5 for Carnahan. It's Cooper from the shotgun. And he has Curtis Phillips back there with him. He'll fake the handoff to him, run to the left side. Potosi gets there. Coleman is the one who makes the stop. Jake Coleman from the corner spot, but there was a couple other defenders there as well, including defensive end Waylon DeClue, and it's a loss of a couple of yards by the quarterback.
Yeah, great defensive pursuit right there by the Trojans, stretching him out wide and forcing him out of bounds.
-2 for Michael Cooper. 7 carries for 20 yards. He's looked good passing the football tonight. 225 yards passing and a couple of touchdowns through the air. Second down and goal from the 7-yard line. 9 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock, fourth quarter. Carnahan still needs 2 scores here, and still with a lot of time left, anybody's game. It's important that the Cougars get in the end zone here, though. They'll motion one receiver out right, one to the left, a couple of backs in the backfield, one of them being a wing back. He's going to be sent in motion. They'll take the snap, and the quarterback fakes the handoff to the fullback and then runs up the middle and gets stuffed. Defensive front too much for the Carnahan offensive front to handle. Potosi has a lineman coming out of there with the football, and he was going to run for daylight, but they had blown the play dead, and I didn't see the quarterback hit the ground right there. It looked like he had gotten stripped of the ball, but forward progress must have been stopped. That would have been interesting to see Potosi get a defensive touchdown there.
Right.
That would have been.
Right here, Zach Drennan has to come out of the game for taking his helmet off.
It's been a wild game. I mean, pretty much
seen about everything, haven't we?
Throw the rule book out the window. This is like the Wild West. It's been crazy. And it's been long. It's been a long game. We're going on 3 hours, aren't we? Yep, 3 hours. 10:30 approaching, and we still have 8:38 left to go. Carnahan with twins right. One receiver split left. Zach Drennan. Is he still on the sideline?
I believe so, yep.
Yes, he is. It's third down and goal from the 6-yard line. And Potosi's arguably best defensive player, one of their best anyway, not on the field, Waylon DeClue. I got to like the intensity of that young man. He keeps looking to the sideline saying, get into it. He wants the crowd fired up. You probably hear it. There's the snap. It's bobbled by the quarterback. Does a good job picking it up, but then he's going to be driven backwards. Nowhere to go. All the way back to the 25. They'll rule his progress stopped at about the 19-yard line. 74, Caleb Lawson with the drive tackle of all ages right there to make that stop.
Yeah, that was a good defensive stop right there. Got the crowd into it and did exactly what they needed to do. Now they got a long fourth down drive. Where did they mark forward progress out here, Glenn?
Well, initially it was the 19. They've actually given him more credit back to the 16-yard line. He was actually down at the 25, but they forward progress to the 16. There was a loss of about 8.
It's a big fourth down play right here for both squads.
And it's fourth and goal from the 16. There's no getting a first down here. You got to go end zone. Carnahan has no kicking game as far as field goals go. And their kicker's been ejected from the game anyway. Williams is the kicker. 7:37 left to play fourth quarter. We're going to get a timeout on the field. Carnahan with the timeout with 7:38 left to go. We'll see him try for the end zone when we come back. It's been a good game. 28-18 Potosi. 30-second break, and we're back on J98.
When you have a concrete job, Polite Ready Mix is the name to remember. Polite Ready Mix has been in business for 3 decades, and they're locally owned and operated, with 8 locations servicing Washington, Iron, St. Francis, and now Reynolds and Carter counties. And in addition to their already great service, Polite Ready Mix offers several trucks and a concrete conveyor. Contact the Polite Ready Mix nearest you for a no-obligation estimate today. That's Polite Ready Mix.
Well, if Potosi can make a stop here, hold on to a 10-point lead with 7 and change left to go in this ball game. Look for a heavy dose of Blaine Riddle to try to chew some clock. I think everybody's kind of ready to get home safely here tonight. Right. This has been so wild. 4th down and 16 to go. 4th and goal from the 16 for Carnahan. They were set up at the 5-yard line after that big 50-yard catch by Jelon Moore. Had a good play breaking some tackles down the sideline. Blaine Riddle made a touchdown-saving tackle, and how big would it be for Riddle if Potosi's defense can make that stop?
And if I'm Potosi's defense right here, you got to be thinking pass, let nobody behind you, keep everything in front of you, swat the ball to the turf.
Moore, Rhines, and Polk to the receivers to the right side. 2 more receivers out to the left, empty backfield. Shotgun snap. Oh, Cooper's in trouble. Shook away from 2 tackles, throws to the end zone, and overthrows his man Rhines, coolly in coverage. But what a play by that quarterback. It's a turnover on downs, but the way he shook out a 2 would-be sacks right there and made a play downfield, you got to give him credit.
Yeah, you do. That's impressive as a freshman quarterback there, being elusive enough to to keep the play alive and had a chance for a touchdown there, just overthrew his receiver.
It was the two ends closing in on him, kind of pinching down on him, and what he did is he stepped up and then stutter stepped back and made them both kind of run into each other, stepped out of that mess and threw to the end zone. It was a heck of an athletic play, and a more accurate throw probably would have been a touchdown. Right. Hard to be accurate when you're running for your life, though.
Yeah, exactly. But nonetheless, a good stop for the Trojans here, and see if they can drive the football.
7 minutes, 31 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter on J98. So Potosi takes the field. Looks like it's a water break, and we'll take a break along with them. Time to get hydrated. 10-point lead for the Trojans. 1 minute timeout on J98.
Instead of sugary beverages that add extra calories and don't provide optimal hydration, rethink your drink. Regular hydration with quality Culligan bottled water is best. Waiting until your body gives you a thirsty signal means you have 3% level of dehydration and up to 15% decline in maximum performance capacity.
Right now, Culligan is offering low-cost cooler rentals, 20 gallons of water, and no delivery charge. Just call 573-431-3016. Culligan, better water, pure and simple. Limited time offer. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for details.
Some motorcycle riders just want more. They want more fun out of the ride. And for them, now's the moment to get a Honda CTX 1300. Your Honda awaits, and it awaits with a great deal. You can get as low as 1.9 fixed APR financing and a 1-year Honda Care Protection Plan on select models. Plus, you can get $1,000 in accessories on select models. Hurry into Donaldson Cycles on Municipal Drive in Park Hills. Your moment awaits. Your Honda awaits. See dealer for complete program details.
Just about to the point where I'd give up, my vehicle or, some kind of earthly possession for a nice cool breeze into this press box tonight. It's been one of those sweaty, swampy type of nights up in the press box, and certainly down on the field probably wouldn't be a lot better. In a game that's going to extend into the wee hours of the night. Here it is, 10:31, 7:31 left to go in the fourth quarter. Potosi leads by 10 over Carnahan, 28-18, and the defense just made a big stop after Carnahan had a first and goal at the 5. They got backed up to the 16 and turned the ball over on downs. Blaine Riddle made a touchdown-saving tackle that turned into be pretty darn big. One receiver to the right side, split backs in the backfield. Huerta looked like he had some miscommunication on this handoff, but eventually does get the handoff to Riddle. Riddle gets first down yardage on the far sideline, and a late hit comes in there by Cooper. It came over from the safety spot. No flag flies. Close to first down yardage, but it looked like he had stepped out of bounds. Short of the marker, 2 yards shy. 8-yard carry by Blaine Riddle.
Another heavy dose of Blaine Riddle on the far sideline over here. And I think that's going to be what Potosi's going to do. 7 minutes, you've got, majority of the field to work with. Give your ball to your best running back and let him go to work.
Thing is, you probably don't want him going out of bounds too much, like you did right there. It stopped the clock at 7:23. Second down and a long one or a short 2, split back set for Potosi. These players are flat out tired out there. There's the snap, handoff comes near side. Austin Cooley looking to get the edge here. Stiff arms one man, gets across the 30-yard line and finds the sideline to the 35. And a first down for Potosi. 10-yard run and a first. Move those chains. Cooley hadn't carried the ball out of the backfield since the first quarter. That was his 4th carry. He now has 32 yards. Clock stops to move the chains with 7:16 left to play. Northwest and Festus both played tonight, or earlier this morning, I should say, and lost their games. They were the area teams that were playing today. Potosi trying to make the third time a charm in their new turf facility opener tonight. They had the ribbon cutting ceremony, a lot of pregame celebrations and festivities going on. They want to send their home crowd home happy. Here's a handoff to the right side. Blaine Riddle still trying to find something to the outside. Bounces it to the right. Gets across the 40 to about the 42-yard line before being brought down inbounds this time. That clock will continue to run. 6-yard carry for Blaine Riddle. 2nd and 4 coming up.
And so far we've seen nothing but stretch plays to the outside with Blaine Riddle and Austin Cooley. And it seems to be working, keep grinding out yards, getting first downs, keep that ball inbounds, and keep the clock moving.
Dusty Douglas, who's not going to get enough credit for what he's done tonight, leading the way for those two. Looks like he's hobbled. He's going to come off the field. Actually, no, it wasn't Douglas. Douglas is coming on the field. I think maybe 28 is the one coming off the field. Kyle Allison. But Dusty Douglas checks back in and then comes back off. So Potosi would have had too many men on the field had he come back in. Potosi's going to stay with the split back set, and they're confused. They're going to call timeout as John Thompson was lined up as the lone receiver to the right side. It was going to be two backs, split backs, Riddle and Austin Cooley, or rather Portell back there. But Dusty Douglas checking in and then back out and then maybe back in again. Right. Where to decided, look, let's call timeout and figure out what we're doing.
I think they were left with 10 players.
6 minutes and 22 seconds on the clock in the fourth. Potosi holding on to a 10-point lead. So let's go back to that tackle by Blaine Riddle at the 5-yard line. Carnahan looking like they're for sure going to score on that drive and get back to within one score. Who knows what happens from there. Now Potosi really in the driver's seat in this game if they don't make any drastic mistakes, and I think it all leads back to that Blaine Riddle tackle at the 5. That was an effort play to catch up.
Yeah, that just shows how much heart and effort he has to run from sideline to sideline to make a tackle. And it paid off, and most people aren't, besides us who are up here calling the game, aren't going to remember that play and the whole mess of things. But when you come down to it, that's huge. That's huge for Potosi as far as momentum swinging back to Carnahan, and I think a play or two after that's when Carnahan lost the big yardage there.
Yeah, the big sack by Caleb Lawson that drove him back. And I'm having a hard time trying to figure out who's been more valuable tonight, Blaine Riddle or Austin Cooley. Cooley's been your big play guy, 145 yards receiving, and also done something in the rushing game. But how about 34 carries for almost 200 yards for Blaine Riddle tonight? I would say he's been the more valuable of the two, but you're kind of splitting hairs.
Right. And, for me, just standing up here in this booth, sweating my butt off, if I had to carry the ball 30-odd times, I think I'd give it to him. He's basically, when Austin was on the sideline injured, he pretty much put the team on his back. So I would say my vote would go toward Blaine Riddle.
My 35th carry would be them carrying me off the field. There's the snap. There's the handoff to the near side. They go to Portell again, and Portell gets close to the 45-yard line, gain of a couple to about the 43. 2-yard gain for Jared Portell. He's had a 6-yard touchdown run tonight.
Right, the few carries he's got tonight, he's ran the ball hard.
3 carries for 14. That touchdown run he had, though, I mean, it was a pretty easy one, but you got to still give him credit for getting into the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
He had just subbed in for Blaine Riddle, who was having helmet trouble, and he kind of got to be the star on that drive, capping off a 6-yard run. That seems like hours ago. It was actually a 4-yard run. It was with 8:56 left in the third quarter. I was thinking first half. That's how long ago it seems. There's the snap and the handoff, Blaine Riddle. Riddle's got some room to run outside, gets up the sideline, and picks up first down yardage into Carnahan territory, brought down around the 40-yard line. In fact, that's exactly where he went down. It's a gain of 16 yards for Blaine Riddle, and that put him over 200 yards rushing tonight on 35 carries. What a monster.
Yeah, that's very impressive, and you can start to see the Carnahan Cougars are starting to get a little exhausted on defense. I think the pounding they've taken with Blaine Riddle and Austin Cooley coming at them from every direction. You can kind of see them starting to get a little tired, especially with the heat. As the time winds down, it looks like Potosi's just going to grind this one out.
And that's kind of the whole point with him. At some point, you're going to just drive a defense crazy, continuing to feed him the rock. Now a handoff to the near side comes. It looks like to Cooley. Cooley gets tripped up, and a flag comes in after just a couple of yards to the left side. The flag looked like it came away from the ball carrier here, so something going on away from the play that the official wasn't too pleased about. I think everybody involved tonight, fans, players, refs, broadcasters, cameramen, are going to sleep pretty well after this. What do you think?
Yeah, after take a shower, definitely.
You mentioned this earlier. I wish somebody would have challenged me to the Ice Bucket Challenge tonight because it'd be a good time to do it.
You're exactly right.
Heat index in this press box is approximately 175 degrees. Check the penalty here. Preliminary signal is Carnahan's going to get backed up. Both teams still in this game mentally. Both teams trying to fire up their sidelines and fire up their crowds. So far, they haven't marched off any penalty yardage either way, and they haven't made a motion to the press box. Now they finally will. And it was a Carnahan personal foul penalty that goes 15 yards and gives Potosi even better field position.
I don't know about you, Glenn. You probably watched a lot more high school football than me, but I haven't seen so many 15-yard penalties before.
You're not kidding.
Yeah, usually they're the 5-yard variety or 10 yards, but
122 yards of total penalties tonight. Let's see if I can count up the 15-yarders. Early on, they were all 5-yarders, but we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7, I would say, 15-yard penalties tonight. And that's against Carnahan alone. There's also been a few on Potosi's side. So more than 10 15-yard penalties total in tonight's game. Second down and 12 after a 2-yard loss by Austin Cooley. And the ball's spotted at the 24-yard line with 4:33 left to go on the clock. 5 carries, 20 yards tonight. Austin Cooley. Split back set. Riddle split back left. Cooley split back right. There's the snap, and they'll hand it off. And this goes to Cooley. Ball might have come out, actually, and Potosi's able to fall on it. Again, nowhere to go there by the Potosi running back. No gain.
Yeah, good stop by the Carnahan linebacker there. And clock is definitely in Potosi's favor. Carnahan out of timeouts. They're gonna run this play clock all the way down, I would imagine, and try to grind this out here.
Check Cooley on that last run. Cooley was on the sideline. It was actually Allison who got the call. Number 28, Kyle Allison, a 5'9" sophomore, lost a yard. So third down and long, and the clock's still ticking. Potosi has this one in hand again if they don't make any mistakes. Carnahan, to have any chance, is going to need to get a couple of stops right here. Third down and 14 from the Carnahan 26-yard line. Split back set. There's the snap, and it's a straight drop back pass for Jordan Huerta. He fires the wobbler left side, and the ball is tipped and intercepted. There's also a flag that was thrown as well. Ball picked off at the 5-yard line. Jordan Huerta throws his second interception of the night. His receiver actually fell down, and LaRon Washington made the pick at the 5. We'll check the flag, though.
It's an interesting play call to me.
Well, the receiver who fell down, I believe, was Chandler Franklin. And was he knocked down is the question. If that's the case, you got pass interference, and Potosi keeps possession of the football. All indications are that's the case. Again, the penalties are one thing, but the refs are taking an unusual amount of time to relay the information to the press box tonight. Pass interference, though, on the defense. Potosi's going to take the ball at the, looks like the 12. Yes, it is. 12-yard line, 1st and 10. Potosi Trojans, 3:24 left to play in the fourth quarter. So there's another penalty for you. Starting to lose track, but that's at least 17 for Carnahan. And about 166 yards of penalties against the Carnahan Cougars. And they'll call it third down and goal from the 1-yard line. Hey, there's another penalty. The Carnahan jump. Nope, false start on the offense. That'll be a 5-yard variety on Potosi. And they've committed 8 penalties for 80 yards tonight. So well over 200 yards of penalties. If you think about that, that's crazy. That means we've seen teams back up over 2 lengths of the football field due to,
hey, you know what?
Silly mistakes.
It's week 1, right?
Have we said that at all, Matt, that it's week 1?
A couple times.
Instead of third down and 1, it's going to be third down and 6 if they ever get the ball spotted. From the 12, they should move it back to the 17, but nothing's been easy tonight.
Me. For some reason, for every flag we have, we've got an explanation that has to be made to each coach, and I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Not this in detail,
Maybe, certain situations or circumstances, but almost every flag there's been an explanation for both coaches, or at least one or the other. I think everybody's hot and exhausted.
They'll wind the clock, and they moved the ball all the way back to the 31-yard line. It should have been a 5-yard penalty to the 17, so another Another situation must have happened against Potosi there to back him up even further, because now they got 3rd down and 20. Riddle's going to get a handoff running to the right side. He starts weaving in and out of defenders. Up the sideline he goes, delivers a blow on the end of it, and gets close to first down yardage. In fact, he does get first down yardage close to the 10. That was about a 20-yard carry. Blaine Riddle did most of that himself and then delivered a blow at the end of it to finish it off.
I tell you what, he's run the ball every time he's got it. He's run it hard, putting the head down, leveling the shoulder pads, and making the tacklers pay. He's not going down easy, that's for sure.
First down and goal from the 10, and it was a 21-yard carry to give him 225 yards rushing tonight on 36 attempts. He's got to be getting tired. Clock stops to move the chains, and if Potosi punches this one in, it'll be all over but the cry, and it's pretty much all over anyway at this point. And a good job. That was 3rd down and 20, Garrett. They ran the ball on 3rd and 20 and picked up a first down. And that's got to be so deflating for the Carnahan sideline there to give that up.
That's kind of going back to the last 3rd down play with the long pass that got intercepted.
Here's the snap, and a handoff comes to the near side. And the ball carrier is stood up and driven backwards. Good game tackling that time, Austin. Cooley, actually, it was Allison again on the carry, and he gets moved backwards. And looks like Coach Casey's kind of conserving Austin Cooley maybe for week 2. Although, as I say that, Cooley's coming back on the field. So Allison with the loss in that last play. His 2 carries tonight have gone for negative yardage. 2 carries, negative 2 yards by Allison. 2nd down and goal from about the 11, under 2 minutes to play. Potosi Trojans looking like they have started the season off with a week 1 win. Certainly enough to work on in practice as they get ready for week number 2. But certainly a win's going to be a win for these guys. And they've done enough on offense tonight to really think that they're going to be a legit offensive team. They just need to clean some things up here and there.
Right, and I think that's all stuff they can take care of. Get another week's practice in and fix their mistakes for the following weekend.
There's the snap. There's the handoff. The run goes to the near side. Austin Cooley's able to get in on this scoring with a touchdown run of 11 yards. And that puts it out of reach for Potosi. Makes it 34-18, pinning the extra point with 1:22 left to play.
There's another instance where, you've been beat up by Riddle all night. You might be keen on him to see him get the ball, and nope, it goes to Austin Cooley for the touchdown.
4th quarter score there for the Potosi Trojans makes it 34-18, 1 minute and 22 seconds on the clock. Austin Cooley. And it's another big drive in this game brought to you by Pro Care Automotive in Bonne Terre. They're going to try Thompson out on this extra point. And then before he can get a leg into it, it's a flag. Looked like Carnahan might have come across early, but it could have been drawn off. It is on Carnahan, half the distance here. That'll make it an easier extra point for John Thompson. Extra points have not been automatic tonight. Let's see how many have been converted. Looks like just 1. That was after the 4-yard touchdown run by Portell. Extra point was kicked. Everything else, 2-point conversions, extra points have all failed tonight. John Thompson, number 88, is the kicker. He gets a running start and boots a low-line drive, and it's straight through for the extra point. It's good. 35-18, Potosi Trojans have put it out of reach tonight with 4 fourth quarter, 1:22 left to play. We're back in 60 seconds on J98 and J98 Web TV.
Precious memories left behind bring us joy and peace of mind when we celebrate the lives of those we love.
Pre-planning a funeral is very personal. Whether it's special music or a favorite poem, each person has their own wishes. At Cozine Memorial Chapel, we're here to help you express those wishes.
Celebrate the lives of those you love.
Cozine Memorial Chapel, Farmington.
The Potosi R3 School District is committed to excellence. They are very proud of all their students and their athletes. These young people work hard and show a ton of dedication. The Potosi R3 students and athletes are committed to excellence to high levels of achievement. Attitude and perseverance play a big part in their success. The Potosi R3 School District sincerely hopes the 2014-15 school year is a wonderful and memorable stepping stone in life's journey.
35-18 is our score. Potosi on top of the Carnahan Cougars on their home opener tonight in Potosi. Overall, a very successful night for the Trojans. 1:22 left to play in the game, and Carnahan will have likely one more possession before this game comes to an end. And the Trojans will try out new kickers all over the place. Number 70 lines up to kick this one deep, Ethan Rowland. He boots it over the middle. The ball's picked up far side. And this looks like it's Rhines. He tries the far side line, and he gets some open room to run across the 50 to the 45-yard line before being driven out of bounds into Potosi territory. That's one thing that's been consistent tonight. They haven't always gotten that edge, but when they get the open field, they're tough to catch, Carnahan.
Yeah, they are. They're very, very athletic and quick around the edges. And Potosi, where did they mark the ball?
Gabe Smith on the tackle, special teams tackle, by the way. Looked like it was the 45 where he was stopped, and that is the spot. Potosi is going to play defense for hopefully one final possession here, get a stop, and send everybody home happy here tonight. Who would be your pick for player of the game tonight, Garrett? We got Blaine Riddle and Austin Cooley as the main two that we're looking at, with the special mention to Zach Drennan on defense.
Right. I think, I still got to go with Blaine Riddle with the amount of carries and workload he's had on a hot night. I think without them, it's a different ball game.
Cooper takes the shotgun snap. He looks to fire one out to the near side, and almost a very nice possession catch was made by Moore, but ball knocked out of his hands on a nice play by Tristan Brown. And Potosi kind of reached around and swatted that ball down.
That was a good defensive play. He almost outran the football, had to stop, plant his feet, and come back and make a play on the football. Did a great job.
Michael Cooper, 2 straight incompletions. He's done a good job passing tonight, though. Over 200 yards passing, 225 unofficially. Sort of have him for with a couple of scores. Something that didn't help Carnahan. Again, it seems like ages ago, but one of their better receivers, Williams, has been ejected from this game. And he was having himself a good night. 72 yards receiving and a score, plus an interception return for on defense for a touchdown. Michael Cooper with 4 wide. Straight drop back. Fires the seam right over the middle. Another big hit and a Crown Collision brought to you by Crown Collision Center. This time it's Coleman who makes the stop. But the first down is picked up on the seam route. And it's a first down, Carnahan. However, the receiver who made the catch is shaken up on the play. Gary Johnson's the one who hauled it in. That's a nice catch by him. And I think he knew he was going to make that catch, which makes it all that more impressive, or get that hit, which made it all that more impressive.
Right. And I think Jake Coleman's kind of feeling a little bit of that effect too. That was a pretty hard collision there, and we've seen a lot of that tonight. Guys getting after it. And we keep saying week one, mistakes, but it's also week one in the sense, these guys have been practicing with each other for almost a month now, and it's good to come out here and see somebody with the opposite jersey. So there has been some hard hitting going on tonight.
You can definitely tell that some aggression has been let out on this field tonight. There's probably a lot of blood, sweat, and tears out on that field that's going to have to be raked out of this nice fresh turf that they got. It's a little bit of a shame that we've seen so many big-time delays between all these exciting plays, because this game had and it still was a great game. It had the potential to be so much more exciting had some of the early season stuff been kind of cleaned up here. It's going to be a first down and 10 for Carnahan. Ball should be they haven't changed it yet on the scoreboard, but that was an 11-yard catch from the 45, so it should be at the 34. They'll spot it at the 33-yard line up Potosi. And looks like Carnahan is in the midst of a timeout. Looks like Carnahan is now out of timeouts. Potosi still has one left, and 1:01 left on the clock in the fourth quarter. What's the number one thing you take out of this game here tonight?
Mistakes have got to be cleaned up on.
It might have been
sides.
A silly question.
Yeah, but for Potosi, anyways, on the offensive side, I think they got to like what they see from Brandon Riddle early in the year, and also from Austin Cooley. He's I think he might be a little tweaked on an injury, but they got to like what they see on the offensive side. Maybe a few things on defense to clean up, but for the most part, not bad.
They're going to run to the right side with their quarterback, and Cooper has been shaking people around all night tonight, and he does a good job, again, getting across the 20-yard line. Michael Cooper with a first down run. We did see another flag fly in there as well, and those officials haven't been shy about letting those things go, even with this game well in hand at this point. And Carnahan looks like they're going to be backed up again with their 18th penalty of the night.
A lot of these Potosi players are wearing yellow shoes. They're starting to look like flags too.
Yeah, maybe we're just seeing things at this point. But you're right, the Potosi Trojans are wearing yellow shoes. It does almost look like one of their shoes came off, but it's a flag that it's sitting back out there at the 37-yard line. The thing too, Garrett, is we talked about Austin Cooley and the plays that he was able to make tonight. He missed basically a quarter.
Right.
Still put up the big yardage through the passing game. And if needed, he probably could have had a bigger game tonight, but they got into run the clock mode here with Blaine Riddle and kind of let him do his thing.
And I think Blaine Riddle's your workhorse, whereas Austin Cooley's more of your dynamic type of performer.
Well, instead of first down inside the 20, the holding penalty puts Carnahan backed up with a first down and long, and then another pre-snap penalty goes against, I was going to say Potosi. Nope, it's against Carnahan again. Procedure penalty. And there's 20 yards of penalties on this drive. Or 15 yards of penalties on this drive against Carnahan. We'll say unofficially 181 penalty yards against Carnahan tonight. It's very unofficial. 19 total penalties, though. So 19 for them, and for Potosi, they committed 8. So still not quite as many, actually, as the North County game. Greg was telling me they had over 30 penalties total in that one. Here's a pass over to the right side from Cooper, nearly intercepted. Probably should have been an interception by Dylan King. The pass was a wobbler, and King ran it all the way and jumped in front of it. Almost could have fair caught it.
Yeah, just a muffed catch there, and but made a good play on the ball. Was behind the football, came in, swooped right in front of the wide receiver, and just about had an interception.
Ended up incomplete. King is in the game right now as Potosi has their subs in. Some of their subs, Portell also back at safety. Number 23 is Tristan Brown. 22, Chandler Franklin. That's the secondary. Allison is in there at linebacker. Number 3, Garrett Johnson, is in the secondary as well. Cooper takes the snap and gets sacked. Defensive line gets in for the stop. 54 was in the area. Wes Dockery. Also big number 70, Ethan Rowland. Definitely want to give those guys some name mentions tonight as well as Cooper loses yards. And we could see just one more play tonight for Carnahan as we're down to the final 20 seconds of this fourth quarter. You'll want to stay tuned for the end zone show, or actually it's the post-game show. No end zone tonight, but post-game show is brought to you by Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy. And we'll talk to Coach Mark Casey about a special night tonight for the Potosi Trojans and a wild and crazy and entertaining night as well. Cooper looks to air it out down the right sideline. Ball is deflected and incomplete as zeros come up on the clock. And mercifully, this game is over, 35-18. And it only took 3 hours and 30 minutes to get through it tonight. But main thing is Potosi was able to hold serve on their home field tonight and get a big, much-needed win and revenge for last year as well.